We have the 2003 draft class: LeBron, Bosh, Wade, Carmelo. But today it all changes. We're going to be removing LeBron James. We're going to replace his player DNA in this draft class with just a placeholder guy, one of the worst players in the league, Anthony Hennett. You're up for tributes, essentially completely deleting LeBron James' existence from the NBA. So now we have a draft class where more than likely one of Carmelo, Chris Bosh, or Dwayne Wade is going to go #1 overall. And we're going to simulate the NBA up until today to see how things would play out if LeBron James never existed. And that sounds kind of harsh. Maybe if instead of going to the NBA, he's working at Best Buy or something. We made it to the end of the 2002-2003 season, and I already simulated the playoffs. Does not really matter for this experiment because LeBron wasn't in the league anyway. What matters more, though, is who was the worst team. So you have the Miami Heat, the Celtics, and the Cavaliers out east. And then out west, you have the Portland Trail Blazers, Houston Rockets, and the Memphis Grizzlies. One of these 6 teams are probably going to get the #1 pick going in this next draft. And as we prepare to get into the draft, just as a side note, I am used to controlling the Sixers, but don't worry, Sixers fans, you guys are not going to get screwed over. I have all the team automation on. They're still going to make decisions. We're just going to be spectators here. I'm not going to be helping any of these teams. I just want to see how NBA history pans out without LeBron included whatsoever. See who wins, see what stars go where. The Miami Heat have the best chance at the #1 pick. The Blazers the second best, the Celtics third, Cavaliers the fourth. And it's going to go to Miami. It's going to Miami. The Pistons still get #2. Hopefully this time they don't mess up and pick Darko. And then the Celtics actually get #3. Now the #1 pick, I'm going to guess is either going to be Carmelo or Dwayne Wade. I would personally pick Dwayne Wade, but hindsight is 2020. I think Carmelo probably goes #1. Miami has a chance though to still draft Dwayne Wade, and they go with Carmelo as I expected. Carmelo #1, #2 Wade to the Pistons could be scary. They already have a very good team. They take Chris Bosh though. I guess at this point they did not have Rasheed Wallace yet. They ended up trading for him in the middle of this coming season. So this gives them a power forward that they kind of needed, I guess, which means more or less Dwayne Wade is probably about to go #3, pairing up with Paul Pierce. They trade it. They take, wow, I didn't see that coming. The Celtics take Chris Bosh and they send the #3 pick to the Pistons. And then they also get the Pistons 2005 lottery protected. That's not going to be in the lottery, buddy. They're going to take Wade, and they have a unit. So Wade ends up being on the Pistons. We just got pump faked. And then the rest of this draft, we'll just simulate to the end and see who gets who. So some other notable signings is Chris came into the Cavs. Kirk Hinrich to the Jazz is kind of notable. Other than that, we don't really have any other huge names that are worth taking the time to look at here. But if you want to see any of these guys in the first round, the Spurs take Kendrick Perkins. There you go. Rookie signing, team options. We'll simulate all past that. Let's see who's the free agents in this season. We got Jason Kidd, Jermaine O'Neal, Shawn Marion. Some big names for sure. A lot of these players ended up re-signing. Jason Kidd stayed with the Nets. Jermaine O'Neal's on the Pacers. Shawn Marion is on the Nuggets now, though. So there's also some interesting stuff going on here. Rip Hamilton is on the Jazz. So maybe that Detroit team doesn't look as impressive. They're still going to be good, though. Don't get me wrong. Dwayne Wade, the Predators in Utah. David Robinson joins them over there. A lot of interesting moves going into this next year. So we now officially have our very first season underway without LeBron James. Now, these first couple of years, I don't know how much NBA history is going to pan out differently. The Cavaliers will probably be higher in the lottery standings. They may get a good pick in 04, 05, maybe 06. Otherwise, though, I don't see a ton changing because LeBron, he was a fantastic player, don't get me wrong, but didn't have too much of an impact on who was winning what in his first year, 2, 3 years in the league. Of course, 2007 when he made it to the finals, that's where things start to get interesting. But then when it really gets interesting is the 2010s. 8 straight NBA finals. There's no LeBron, so someone else is going to all those finals. It'll be cool to see how it pans out. I also did this video where I kept all the rosters the same. I just simply removed LeBron James from each year. So if you want to see how NBA history would play out with the rosters we all know and love, just simply without LeBron, go check that in the main channel. If I remember, I'll leave it as a pinned comment. You guys can check it out after you finish here. So you can just see who would have won. This one, everything's going to change. All the history will change. That video would stay the same. Dwayne Wade gets Rookie of the Year, averaging 28 a game. My goodness, he fit right in with Detroit. That's got to be like one of the top scorers in the entire NBA at that point. No All-NBA first team for Wade. I wanted to see if he got maybe second. He doesn't get any, averaging 28 and not getting any All-NBA first team. Wow. Whoa. Not getting any All-NBA selections is kind of insane. Let's take a look at the league leader. Oh, Kobe is averaging 37. Maybe Wade isn't as high as I was expecting. T-Mac 34, Allen Iverson 33, 30 for Vince, Shaq. Wade is down here at 7. That's still pretty impressive, though. The 7th leading scorer in the entire NBA as a rookie. As far as the standings are concerned, the Cavaliers actually made the playoffs this year with no LeBron. They couldn't with them. And that's not to say LeBron was the problem by any means. Some of our worst teams, let's see. Who all drafted who? I already done forgot who got who. Carmelo went to the Celtics. No, Carmelo went number 1 overall to the Heat. Miami, so they have the 9th seed, 39-43. The Celtics got Bosh. She got Bosh with Paul Pierce, 44 and 38. Pistons, they're doing fantastic with D Wade. And I wanted to take a look at all the rookies too before we get into these playoffs. Dwayne Wade, like we already saw, 28 a night is crazy. Carmelo with 23 a game for Miami. Chris Bosh is doing pretty well in Boston alongside Paul Pierce. I think that's going to be actually a pretty interesting pairing right there. Kyle Korver's averaging 12. Chuck Perry is averaging 11, I guess. And Chris Kaman. Chris Kaman is another pretty notable guy in this draft class as well. So that's pretty much, for the most part, all the real interesting stuff in this first season. Like I said, it'll get more interesting as we get a few years in, as NBA history really starts to change. And it looks like the New Orleans Hornets actually make it to the finals with Gilbert Arenas, Jamal Mashburn, the rook Kyle Korver making a finals appearance. Would not have been the first rookie I expected to be starting in the finals from that draft class. And they're up against the Nuggets. I just realized, I assumed it was the Lakers. The Nuggets actually beat the Lakers. And NBA history is already looking very different. That's not that good of a team. They did pick up Sean Marion in a free agency, and apparently he was good enough to push them past Kobe and Shaq. This has got to be one of the most ridiculous looking finals I've ever seen. What an awful day to have eyes. Let's see who wins. The New Orleans Hornets with Gilbert Arenas as a finals MVP in 2004 to kick this simulation off. The next big event is going to be the draft lottery again. This isn't as big of a draft class, I don't believe, but the Blazers have the best chance. The Hawks, the Knicks, Supersonics, and it goes to the Sixers. Actually, it goes to the Sixers, Supersonics 2, Atlanta Hawks number 3. Let's see who gets to. There's also going to be an expansion draft. I believe that's for the Charlotte Bobcats. The Bobcats come back for a few years, and that's what's going on there. So Dwight, I forgot that Dwight was in this class. That is a very big pickup. Then he pairs alongside Allen Iverson. AI finally gets some solid help, get some luck here in the draft. Dwight Howard, that's big. Luol Deng goes to the Bobcats that just got added to the league. Tony Allen to the Wizards. J.R. Smith is a Rocket. We have Kevin Martin goes to the Bulls. They get a shooter over there. Ben Gordon, that's a decent pickup for the Timberwolves. And this year's free agency definitely has some big changes. Garnett stays with the Timberwolves. I believe he was restricted. No, he couldn't have been restricted at this point. Pau Gasol though goes to the Raptors. That's a huge change. We have Pau on the Raptors. I think they still have Vince Carter at this point. Kenyon Martin stays. AK-47 goes to the Pistons with Dwayne Wade. That's a huge pickup. The Wizards get Lamar Odom. Mike Miller stays on the Magic. Manu Ginobili goes to the Clippers. There's some interesting changes here, and there's still some free agents left available that haven't been signed yet, most notably Steve Nash. It'll be interesting to see where he ends up going as we go into this next season. Nash actually landed in Utah, teaming up with Richard Hamilton. That's an interesting pairing for Steve Nash. He doesn't have any great bigs, and I think that's where Nash flourishes, with a good big man to throw the ball to. But we're starting to see some interesting teams develop. Carmelo and Carlos Boozer here for the Miami Heat. Of course, we know the Celtics. They have Paul Pierce and Chris Bosh, kind of like a mirror effect of the Miami Heat here with Carmelo and Boozer, and then you have Pierce and Bosh. I just got thrown off for a second. The Clippers look pretty good. Elton Brand is very good in these sims with Baron Davis, Ginobili. You have the Cavaliers. They're doing okay with no LeBron. They got Big Z and Jason Terry. I imagine they're going to be in the lottery very, very soon. I'm excited to see how this team pans out, though. The Sixers with Allen Iverson and Dwight Howard. Dwight's still young. Iverson's getting a little older, but if Dwight can develop quick enough, they may actually be a tandem together. Shaq ends up getting another MVP. He apparently stays in LA in this reality. He does not leave Kobe Bryant, sticks things out with him. Maybe some unfinished business after losing to the Nuggets. Dwight does get Rookie of the Year, averaging almost 20 and 11, a double-double average for Dwight. He's also averaging 2.5 blocks a game, already probably in some Defensive Player of the Year conversations. T-Mac, Kobe, Garnett, Duncan, and Shaq as your All-NBA first team. Dwayne Wade cracks through to the second team in only year 2. And Carmelo is on the third team already. Dwight, as a rookie, is on the third team. Very impressive. And for me, the standings are already really interesting, specifically out east. We have the Pistons as the first seed, the Heat as the second seed, and the Celtics as the third seed. So the top three picks from the 04, I guess the 2003 draft class, are all the top seeds in the East now. Wade, Carmelo, Chris Bosh, all part of these different teams, are all making a huge impact to lead them to the best records. Philly ends up getting 43-39. They land the 7th seed with the rookie Dwight. The Cavaliers are still somehow pushing into that 8th seed. I feel like they need to be losing. You guys need to get a better draft pick, man. New York is horrendous. The Knicks are absolutely awful. Portland is still struggling year in and year out. Out west, the standings over there haven't changed too much. Denver's doing pretty good, though, despite not drafting Carmelo in this reality. They're still doing pretty solid. As far as the league leaders, let's take a look. T-Mac leads the league in points per game. Kobe not far behind. Allen Iverson, you got to get those assist numbers up, man. You got Dwight now. You're not playing with nobodies. Throw some lobs up there to Dwight. Dwayne Wade is still 7th again, 28, 5 and 7. And also, I was looking at Shaq after he got the MVP. Should I do a video of removing Shaq from NBA history? That could be kind of interesting. What other guys should I remove from NBA history? I feel like Curry's an obvious one. Jordan's a very obvious one. I would say Kobe, but I did a Kobe video and that got a lot of backlash, you know, after, of course, Kobe's tragic passing. RIP. Didn't mean anything like that by it, but that's how some people took it. We have the Pistons, the Magic, the Heat, the Celtics advanced, the Spurs, the Hornets, and then the Lakers and Timberwolves. So we already have a matchup between two of our 2003 draftees, Carmelo and Chris Bosh, meeting. And this is the rosters I said kind of mirror each other a little bit. You have Melo versus Pierce, and then Boozer versus Bosh. Very similar play styles for both of those guys. Let's start simulating these games. Boston takes game 1 over there. Miami takes a game. The Pistons are up 2-0. Boston is smoking them. And out west, we have the Spurs versus the Lakers. I'm surprised the Spurs didn't take a hit losing Ginobili, not Kawhi. He's not even in the NBA yet. The Magic actually end up upsetting the Pistons. So the Pistons have not been able to make it to the finals after drafting Dwayne Wade, despite making it in real life. T-Mac is in a conference finals with Mike Miller. Paul Pierce and Chris Bosh going to be going up against them. I think the Magic actually have a good shot at making it. And then out west, we have the Hornets versus the Lakers in the conference finals. Kobe and Shaq against the defending champions that moved conference. Let's simulate this round. And we have a Lakers-Celtics finals already. The rivalry intensifies here. We got Kobe versus Paul Pierce several years early. Antoine Walker and Chris Bosh are going to try their best to slow down Shaq. Easier said than done there, without a doubt. Game 1 is going to go to the Los Angeles Lakers. They win by a wide margin. 36 for Kobe, 33 for Shaq. Pierce with 24. Chris Bosh with 16. How's Bosh's numbers looking in the year 2? He was averaging 19 and 10. He's bringing very valuable production, but up against Shaq, I mean, what do you expect, man? Kobe with 43, Shaq with 41, and they only win by 2. Pierce had 41. That was an absolute battle between Pierce and Kobe. The problem is they have Shaq. They actually won a game. I didn't think Boston was going to squeeze one out, but they did pull it off. 33 for Paul Pierce. Walker's playing great. Chris Bosh has been a little bit of a non-factor here, to be honest with you. Can they tie it up? They don't. LA takes the lead. They're up by 5 here in this game. Shaq leads the charge with 35. And was that Kobe with 16 rebounds? My goodness. 30 and 16 for Kobe is crazy. The Celtics win 1, and they force a game 7. We have a game 7 in our hands in the finals already. 30 for Pierce, 30 for Kobe. Chris Bosh with 12. Antoine Walker with 23. We have a game 7, so of course it only makes sense to go ahead and jump in at Simcast. See if this one is close. If it is, we'll watch it down the stretch. Boston trying to claw back down 3-1. They have the lead late in LA, and they're up double digits. I think they're going to do it. Chris Bosh was not who I expected to be the first in the 2004 draft class to win a championship, but he somehow does it. It's mostly Paul Pierce leading the charge, but Chris Bosh was a major factor here. Pierce was 22 and 10. Kobe's 32. Shaq's 30 was not enough. The come from behind championship for the Celtics. Paul Pierce, of course, going to get a Finals MVP. And this is really making me wish Chris Bosh would have went to Boston. This would have been a cool dynamic to see. I don't think Boston was anywhere near that high in that draft in real life, but I kind of wish they were. I kind of wish they tanked a little bit, man. Maybe, you know, I wouldn't wish injury on anyone, but maybe maybe Paul Pierce sat out half the season or something. Could have got a better pick. That could have been cool to see. This year's draft lottery, the Mavericks get 1 with Dirk. Bobcats get 2. The Knicks get 3. The Knicks had such a bad record, and they dropped the 3. Unfortunate. And my, oh my, is this going to be an exciting duo. We're already starting to see some really cool duos forming around the league with no LeBron. Chris Paul is going to be teaming up with Dirk Nowitzki. And then next year's draft is a big one. That's the Kevin Durant draft as well. And then after that, you got Derrick Rose. You got Curry shortly after. There were some huge names coming up. So if there was ever a time to start tanking, it's got to be now. Let's take a look at what free agents are available. Shaq is unrestricted. Nash is unrestricted. Those are your 2 biggest names by far. Let's go straight into a C. Where did they go? Those are our 2 big names already signed. Shaq stays with the Lakers. So Kobe and Shaq extending that. Nash stays with the Jazz. Nothing too exciting here this season. And I just realized next year is not the Kevin Durant draft class. I thought we were already at 2007. We're only going into the 2006 season. So we have 2 seasons removed from the Kevin Durant draft class. It's coming very soon though. 2006. I feel like that was a bit of a weaker draft. Nothing too spectacular coming out of that draft. So this would not be the year to get the #1 pick. You want it next season. You want it in that 2007 draft without a doubt, as long as you don't mess up and take Greg Oden. Injuries are off though, so who knows? Maybe Oden can have a career turnaround here in this reality. Kobe earns an MVP over Shaq. Shaq's on the team and Kobe ends up getting one. Chris Paul, Rookie of the Year. There's no surprise there. Tim Duncan actually gets the Defensive Player of the Year in this reality. I feel like that is one of the most deserving guys of a DPOY, but somehow never won it. Carlos Boozer is the most improved. He's picking things up with Miami. Miami's got to be good. I'm excited to see the standings. We have Kobe, AI, the exact same All-NBA first team as last year. Wade is on the second team again. Dwight moving his way up to the second team. And then Carmelo's on the third team. Yao Ming out here on the third team as well, man. I got to get some more Yao Ming content. I love Yao Ming. He was super cool to watch, man. Talking about him as a kid out on the playground, man. Yao Ming was a cool guy. Detroit Pistons first seed. Celtics second. Miami Heat the third. The Sixers are working their way up, man. As Dwight starts to get a little bit better, that pairing with Allen Iverson is scary. The Cavaliers finally bounce out of the playoff rotation. They need to be losing ASAP. The Knicks are abysmal. That's actually the worst team in NBA history. 0.07% win percentage, 6-76. The worst team the NBA has ever seen. I can't believe the Mavericks only won 30 games with Chris Paul and Dirk. I mean, it is a rookie Chris Paul, but still, that's actually a bit kind of crazy. Take a look at the league leaders. Kobe leading the league. AI not far behind. I see those assist numbers going up, man. He's starting to have some faith in Dwight. And Dwayne Wade is already averaging 32, 5, and 8. Oh, my goodness. This is probably the best player from that draft class now. Without LeBron there, it was a toss-up between Wade and Carmelo. But Wade's really starting to show well. Let's get into these playoffs. Pretty much the same first round as last year. Nothing too exciting in the first round. Let's get to the second round. And the Detroit Pistons actually get upset by Milwaukee. Chauncey Billups, Wade, Ben Wallace, AK-47. They couldn't get it done against Michael Redd and Ray Allen. Michael Redd is a scoring machine, though, man. Underrated guy, without a doubt. Unbelievable. And then the Minnesota Timberwolves also upset the Trailblazers. That's crazy. We have a rematch of last year between Boston and Miami. I think Philly's going to go to the conference finals. I don't think they lose to Milwaukee. So we may be seeing Dwight in the conference finals. Out west, it's the Lakers. It's the Lakers conference to lose. The defending champs are down 3-1 against the Heat, and they come back and they force a game 7 again. They won this game by 12. Carlos Boozer is playing great. Melo only taking 20. Only 20 is a bit of a stretch to say, but that's Carmelo Anthony, man. I wouldn't put 30 past him. And the Celtics claw back 2 years in a row, trailing by 3-1. The Spurs end up losing to the 7th-seeded Timberwolves. And then we have a game 7 here between the Sixers and the Milwaukee Bucks. Ray Allen versus Allen Iverson. And then Dwight, I think, is the next best player on this team. So I got my money on the Sixers, and they do end up winning. So now we have a Dwight versus Chris Bosh matchup and Allen Iverson versus Paul Pierce scoring duel. The Lakers are up against just Kevin Garnett, if I'm not mistaken. That's essentially all they have. Ben Gordon as well. I got to say, my money's got to be on a Lakers-Celtics rematch. If the Celtics were able to beat the Lakers last year with Kobe and Shaq, I think they could beat Dwight and Allen Iverson. They do end up winning that series, and I think we're going to have our rematch. We do. Here it is again, Kobe and Shaq versus Bosh and Pierce. Can the Lakers win this time? They're up 3-1 last year. They're going to make the same mistake. They're up 2-0. They're flying through it this year. They came back with a vengeance. Oh, my goodness, and a sweep. 35 points per game for Kobe Bryant. He gets a finals MVP in this reality finally. Let's take a look at the NBA finals numbers. 35 for Kobe a night, 32 for Shaq. Pierce was at 28. Bosh is only scoring 16 and 7.5. Man, you need more to Chris Bosh. And I went ahead and got straight into the draft this year. The Bulls actually get the #1 pick, and then they take LaMarcus Aldridge. Like I said, the next year is the one you really wanted #1. Brandon Roy goes #2 to the Sonics. He's going to be healthy here, so that may actually pan out for him. Bargnani, he simulates very well. He ends up becoming like a 96 in every sim I ever do. So that's a huge pickup for the Bobcats. Rudy. Craig Perkins is not a real human, but hey, it is what it is. 2K is going to throw those guys in there. Rondo to the Grizzlies. None of these really move the needle for me as far as just making any of these teams over the top, but it is just rookies. Maybe down the line, they'll have a bigger impact. Free agents, Boozer's restricted. Sean Marion, Rip Hamilton, those are some big names that are going to be available in free agency. Let's see if we can see where they end up signing. Marion goes to the Sixers. Oh, Philly's looking scary. Allen Iverson, a prime Sean Marion, and Dwight Howard just getting into the full swing of his career. This is exciting. That is about to be a scary team. They're my favorites to win the East this year. And Wade is panning out incredibly well in this reality. Not that he did not in real life. In real life, he was a fantastic player. Already won a championship in season 3, 2006. A great player, don't get me wrong. All-time greats. But he's the second best player in the NBA right now as far as overall rating. In only year 4. Are we in? Yeah, we're in season 4. Already the second best guy, surpassing Tim Duncan, McGrady, Garnett, AI. Insane stuff. Carmelo's up there as well. He's pretty high. Tony Parker's developing nicely. 94 overall. He's shooting up the list. Carlos Boozer as well is playing fantastic. He's not playing with LeBron. He's there with Carmelo here. Maybe they're a better fit together. I don't know. But the Philadelphia 76ers, this is what I'm excited to see. They start off the season 13-2. I feel like they got to be the top seed. It's either them or the Detroit Pistons, and they just smoked Detroit. Speaking of Detroit, Marion 29-13. He is coming up huge, man. Dwayne Wade 29. I'm telling you, Sean Marion is a demon in these games. He is very good. I see him single-handedly lead teams to championships. I don't know why he simulates so good, but he does. And I don't think anyone's stopping Philly anytime soon. And we were just hyping up Dwayne Wade, and he's the MVP, something he never accomplished in our reality. 32.5 points a night, 6 rebounds, 7.5 assists, 2 steals, almost 2 blocks. I also just peeped that he's number 24. He beat Kobe to the cut here, taking a number 24. Insane season. Brandon Roy, Rookie of the Year. AK-47 is Defensive Player of the Year. So you got the MVP and the DPOY on the same team. The Pistons are scary, but still was not enough to defeat the 76ers record 74-8. What a year from the 76ers. D-Wade is All-NBA first team. You have Dwight is the second team, and then AI is the third team, as I imagine. I'm surprised Sean Marion is not in the mix there, because that is crazy what he was able to do. 74 wins is obviously the best record in the league. Detroit in second with 57. The Bobcats came in the league after the expansion, and they got straight after it, man. 49 wins for those guys. The Celtics 52, still doing solid. Carmelo and his Heat are at 45. The Knicks are still abysmal. The Bulls are still pretty bad, even after getting Aldridge, which could be good. Maybe they get Durant now. Durant and Aldridge. I don't even know who the Knicks have, to be honest with you. The Nuggets, the Jazz are pretty awful. And I had to go check on the Knicks, and honestly, I feel bad for these guys, man. Raymond Felton's their best guy. They've had some really bad seasons, have not been able to get a good draft pick. I feel like this has to be their year to get lucky. Kevin Durant has got to land on this team, which is sad, though, because that's unfortunate for Durant that he's going to be stuck with those guys. This year, I think the main focus is going to be the East. And the conference finals that I imagine will be the 76ers versus the Detroit Pistons. The Sixers sweep round 1, the Pistons sweep round 1. And they are poised to meet each other in the conference finals, and they do. Detroit struggles with Miami, though. They win in 7. It was close. They win that by 3, in fact. 29 for Billups in the game 7 to close it out. 18 for the MVP. 19 assists, though. 5 for 15 from the field. He was a little shaky. He's averaging 33.5 in the playoffs, but Miami really gave him some difficulties. He had a 33-point game in there. He kicked it off with a 40-point game. 19 assists. That has got to be a career high for Dwayne Wade. His season high, his career high in this reality is 58. Season high 53. Career high of assists was 15. So at least in this reality, I think in real life too, 19 has got to be a record for him. And then out west, you know, different conference, we have Yao Ming against the Lakers, who still have Kobe and Shaq. The Detroit Pistons did take game 1, actually. They stole that from the 76ers. AI with 31 was not enough. 36 for D-Wade, the MVP. This is the matchup I was really excited for. Philly knots it up. The Pistons take that lead. It's 2-2. This is really anyone's series. This is the 2 best teams in the league, in my opinion. Whoever wins this is winning the championship, man. These guys, this is the NBA Finals right here. Philly goes up 3-2 which means Detroit's entire season is on the line. Shawn Marion with 37, 4 for 4 from 3. AI with 34, Dwight with 34. Have we ever had 3 teammates in a conference finals game get 30 each? 30 apiece? And look at the efficiency by these guys. They're not missing, man. How do you stop this team? This is ridiculous. And they end up winning a 6. A valiant effort by the Detroit Pistons. They really put up a solid fight. 29 for Mobley. Coutinho Mobley with 29. Bills with 21. D-Wade with 17 and 12. Wade was really kind of struggling against the Sixers, I'll be honest. I don't know what they were throwing at him. It's probably Dwight's defense in the paint mixed with Shawn Marion probably guarding him. Speaking of Marion, 40 points. Goodness. And in the NBA Finals, they're going to have the Los Angeles Lakers. So we get a rematch of 2001 here with Philly versus LA. And I like Philly's chances this time. You're going to throw Shawn Marion at Kobe Bryant defensively. Dwight against Shaq. Dwight getting into the prime of his career, really getting into the swing of things. Shaq on the down end. The backward spiral for Shaquille O'Neal, and everyone else is kind of terrible. I think Allen Iverson is the biggest difference maker here because Shawn Marion is going to match up well with Kobe, I think. They do take game 1, though, by 5. A down to the wire duel. Shawn Marion's 26, as I expected. Kobe with 37. Don't get me wrong. Kobe's going to get his. Dwight held Shaq to only 12. Huge game 2 here. LA takes that one as well, man. Their dynasty is continuing. No stop in this dynasty. They win this one by 2. So in the first 2 games, a 7-point differential total. Philly finally wins one, and this is a blowout. Kobe's 31 is not enough. Iverson's 26. Shawn Marion's 22. And then Dwight only went 11 and 12. Dwight kind of having a bit of a hard time up against Shaq, as you would expect. He's got an 8-point game in there, an 11-point game. He did good in game 2, but it just was not enough. This is a huge game for to knot everything up, and they do. Shaq 25 and 12. They held Kobe to 6 points. 6 minutes. He fouled out in 6 minutes? Yo, what was going on with the bean right there? My goodness. Shawn Marion with 30. Dwight again, a kind of quiet game. A little bit better though. 16 and 12. AI with 27. A huge game 5. I gotta imagine Kobe comes back with a vengeance, but it's not enough. Philly, they rattle off 3 straight wins. A 46 and 12 game for Iverson. Shawn Marion with 29 and 12. Kobe with 34. He did do his thing. Shaq with 22. And where was Dwight? 15. And for all the marbles here, Philly wins. Now, the finals MVP is going to be either AI or Shawn Marion. And I kind of feel like you got to give it to Shawn Marion. I feel like he was doing everything. But it goes to Allen Iverson. Iverson wins a championship in this reality. With no LeBron James in the NBA, AI could claim the title as an NBA champion. 27.7 points per game, 7.2 assists a game. Here's the final averages. Kobe was averaging 31. Shawn Marion 27. 27-8-2. Steal and a half. A block a game. Man, big series from him. Shaq and Dwight pretty close, to be honest, actually. 21-year-old Dwight versus 35-year-old Shaq turned out to be pretty close. And there you have it. Now we have to see who gets this #1 pick for Kevin Durant. This is going to be a huge draft class. The Knicks have the best odds. The Bulls have a high odds as well. Is Durant going to waste away in New York? Oh my goodness. New York cannot catch a break, man. It goes to Denver. Now they have to pray that Denver messes up and takes Odin. That's what the Knicks have to pray. Oh, they don't mess up. Knicks, don't take Odin, man. Do not. If you take Greg Oden, it's over. Oh my goodness. New York fans, I'm sorry. And Durant ends up joining a pretty cool Nuggets team, to be honest with you. Andre Miller, Marcus Camby. They got Jose Calderon. They got some solid pieces. Channing Frye as well. Denver, I mean, they're not going to be contenders right away, but it's a good foundation for Kevin Durant. Much better for his career than the Knicks. I'm sure the Knicks would have loved to land him, but yeah, I mean, this team is rough, man. I don't see they're going to be right back in that lottery. Don't worry, Knicks fans. You got a chance at Derrick Rose next year. They're going to be right back in the lottery. The big name free agents here is Dwayne Wade. He's restricted, though. I have to imagine Detroit will retain him. Gilbert Arenas, Vince Carter, some of the bigger names. Yao Ming could really shake some things up, I'll be honest with you. Pau Gasol as well as another big name to watch. Let's see. Dwayne Wade stays with the Pistons. The Knicks get their star. They get Gilbert Arenas. They missed out on the draft. Imagine if they would have got Durant and then got Gilbert Arenas. That would have actually been scary. That would have been another fantastic duo out east. The Raptors retain Vince Carter. Amari is on the Suns. The Yao Ming stays on the Rockets. The Raptors re-sign Powell. Okay, so no big switch-ups here. Everyone pretty much just got re-signed to the team that already had them. A lot of these guys are going straight back to the same team. Going into the 2008 season, Derrick Rose's draft class, another huge draft class potential. Most of the teams relatively stayed the same. You have the same contenders as last year. The Sixers are without a doubt still the team to beat, the best team in the league. Allen Iverson probably has like 2 more good seasons in him in his prime. Dwight's just getting into his prime. Shawn Marion's probably got another good 4 years. This team is going to be good for a while. And speaking of Philly, we have an Allen Iverson MVP in 2008. Durant's rookie of the year. He's averaging 23. Wade is still shining bright. This is like one of the greatest rookies ever. What was he averaging? Like 27. But 23 is still pretty good for Kevin Durant. Defensive player of the year, AK-47. Again, the Pistons still got a good squad. Most improved is Kyle Lowry out there with Pau Gasol. 72-10 for the Sixers this year. AI is All-NBA first team. He beats out Kobe and Dwayne Wade, who both dropped to the second team. Carmelo also is All-NBA first team, and Dwight. So a big mix-up here on the All-NBA first team selections. Going into the playoffs, first thing I noticed is the Lakers are number 6. Houston is number 1. San Antonio number 2. Pistons and Sixers still at the top of the East. The East looks relatively the same. The Cavs are sitting at 7. They just overall keep getting that 7, 8, 9 seed, and they're going nowhere. Really feel bad for them. Of course, you had to expect they would be the biggest losers in the LeBron-less reality. So Yao Ming, Richard Hamilton, Steve Francis, J.R. Smith, they're really doing their thing over there out west for the Houston Rockets. They won 58 games in a year. The Spurs are still good. The Clippers are doing good. The Mavericks finally starting to get into a rhythm with Chris Paul and Dirk. That duo is coming too. Kevin Durant almost cracked through to the playoffs in his rookie season. Almost did it. Another 72 wins for the Sixers. Detroit with 58. This is, once again, going to be the Philadelphia 76ers playoffs to lose. They are 1 win away from another trip to the finals. We simulate the round. They sweep the Pistons. So there's really no rivalry there. They keep matching up, but it's all the 76ers. The Pistons are giving it their all. Dwayne Wade's got 40-point games. Chauncey Billups has a couple of big games. It's simply not enough. Allen Iverson is on fire. 44, 40, 38, 43. What a playoff run. A 50-point game in the mix. I don't think that was quite in the playoffs yet. Was it? Milwaukee round one? Yeah. 50-point game in the playoffs. They played the Spurs in the NBA Finals this year. Tim Duncan, Tony Parker. They got Corey Maggette. No Manu Ginobili. He went to the Clippers. So their bench is a little weaker. I like our odds here. Tim Duncan's definitely better than Dwight. But Dwight can kind of hold his own, man. This is, what year are we in? 2008? I guess Tim Duncan's not that old yet, but this is a prime athletic Dwight. Shawn Marion can clamp up whoever. Allen Iverson is probably the best scorer on this court. I still like Philly's odds. They take game 1. They take game 2. Yeah, the Sixers, no LeBron, and the Sixers, they're on a run. Shawn Marion, 39, 9, and 2. 3 steals a game. I told you guys, I don't know what to tell you. Shawn Marion simulates fantastic. 91 overall. I mean, look at these games he's putting up. 40, 45, 30, 40. He had San Antonio's number, man. I almost feel like this guy's a cheat coach. Do I need to slow him down? Should I manually go in there and slow this guy down? He's too much. This is pretty much LeBron. We don't have LeBron, but we got LeBron. 38.8, 9, 2, 3. This is some LeBron type of numbers. And here's our lottery odds for the big Derrick Rose pickup. And mind you, no injuries. We're going to see Derrick Rose's full potential. This is like the worst year for the Knicks not to have a good shot at the number 1 pick. Gilbert Arenas Jordan may have heard him. They're still a lottery team, but they're not as bad of a lottery team. So he pushed him right into the middle of the pack. Kind of unfortunate for the Knicks. Portland gets number 1. The Hornets get 2. Pacers number 3. Let's see who takes who here in this draft. Mike Beasley probably goes pretty high. Westbrook, yep. Derrick Rose goes to Portland. Westbrook to the Hornets. Beasley to the Pacers. Brook Lopez. Kevin Love goes to the Wizards. Any other interesting pickups that we maybe see here? The Knicks get DJ Augustin. They're just packing on the guards. DeAndre Jordan would have been a fantastic pickup for them. Gallinari could have been a good one. Moving on, let's take a look at the free agents this year. Who is a free agent that can shake some things up? Ray Allen, notable. Dwight's restricted. I don't see him leaving Philly anytime soon. I mean, they got a dynasty budding out there, the 76ers. Take a look at who signed where. We have Allen back in the Bucks, Brand back in the Clippers. AK-47 leaves Detroit. He goes out west to Golden State. That definitely weakens Detroit a bit. Devin Harris is on the Hawks as the 87 overall. Bobcats got Luol Deng and Andre Miller. Jameer Nelson is on the Heat. I don't think that was a re-sign. That's a pickup for them, right? Maybe they get a little bit better. And we have another D-Wade MVP. Derrick Rose's Rookie of the Year. AK-47 gets another Defensive Player of the Year even after leaving. The Sixers are still the best team in the league. We're not really going to see too much going on until the Sixers dynasty is over here. I did want to take a look at the league leaders. Carmelo led the league in points this year with a game with 55. Threes made, Carmelo with 9. Carmelo a little bit ahead of his time with the threes. That's a lot. I mean, Carmelo was shooting threes, but 9 is crazy. Yeah, had 27 rebounds. Assists was Chris Paul with 22. He's playing great with Dirk. That would actually be a cool video to do. Chris Paul and Dirk playing their careers together. That would be exciting to see. But yeah, Dwayne Wade, MVP. All-NBA first team. Speak of Chris Paul, there he is. All-NBA first team, and Dirk doesn't make any All-NBA team. That's actually interesting. Dirk is still in the Mavericks, right? Let me go make sure Dirk didn't like slip through the cracks and join another team when I wasn't looking. They do still have Dirk, Chris Paul. The rest of their team just absolutely sucks. They don't have any help around that duo. That's very unfortunate. NBA standings, Philly, by far still the team to beat. Let's just get through these playoffs. I don't think until that Philly team breaks up, anyone is beating them. Like Dwight Howard finals MVP now. They're just trading him year after year. It was Allen Iverson, then Marion, and then Dwight. And Philly has officially three-peated. Dwight was averaging 31 and 14 here. He had 39 was his season high. What's his season high rebounds? 19. I mean, he is putting up some huge numbers. Look at these recent games. A 42 in there, several close to 30. Just a big, absolute fantastic playoff run for Dwight. On the season, he was averaging 21 and 11. Really pushed his numbers up quite a bit here in the playoffs. A fantastic run for him. It was the Thunder, actually, in the finals, who have Rashard Lewis, Brandon Roy. Brandon Roy coming up, like I mentioned, no injuries. He's a guy to watch without a doubt. That wraps up another season. AK-47 almost got to the finals. He left Detroit. Detroit and Philly, they ended up meeting in the conference finals again, the third year in a row. They keep beating on Miami. The Boston hasn't been able to get it very far since winning that championship, but Philadelphia continues to be the top team in the league. As Sean Marion is now a 91 overall. Allen Iverson is slowing down. He's down to an 89 overall. He's about to be 35. So maybe we see some power start to shift here out east. It's all going to be dependent on how long Allen Iverson lasts. Dwight and Sean Marion together, though, is still going to be pretty good. Dwight is still getting better, so there's no slowing him down. This is another big draft class. This is Curry this class or the next class? Wizards have the best odds. Hornets number 2. Utah, I feel like Utah's gotten a couple of these, right? The Nuggets have gotten some big picks as well. They get number 2. They could be pairing someone very good alongside Kevin Durant. Let's see who they end up taking. I don't remember if this is Curry's class or if it's the next year. It is Curry's. James Harden pairs up with Kevin Durant. Blake Griffin goes to the Bucks. The Jazz get Steph. Who did the Jazz have? I know they had Steve Nash for a while, but then they were struggling. They still have Steve Nash. That's going to be a great mentor for Steph. My goodness. I don't know if they're going to be able to play together, though. That's the problem. Steph might be coming off the bench. Nash is a free agent, though. He is a free agent. They have Kirk Heinrich. They have Gortat. They have some okay pieces. The Nuggets, however, are getting James Harden. That is big. James Harden joining the mix with Kevin Durant. They have some great scores over there. DeRozan to the Wizards. Any other notable? Tyreek Evans, the Knicks, they dropped down to 8. The Knicks are just in shambles, man. I really feel bad for any Knicks fans out there. You guys are going through it in this video. Chris Paul, Carlos Boozer is an unrestricted free agent. Steve Nash is a free agent again. Not really too many big names in this free agency class. Steve Nash is probably your most notable one. Is he going to go back to Utah and be a mentor for Steph? He hasn't signed anywhere. He's got 20 offers. He's really thinking about these. Carlos Boozer stays with the Heat. Again, a lot of these guys are just remaining with the teams that sign them. And another MVP for Dwayne Wade, man. Yeah, the 2003 draft class is his for sure, man. He is coming out on top right there. Steph gets Rookie of the Year. He's averaging 21 a night. Is not coming off the bench. Marc Gasol, 6th Man of the Year. Having him come off the bench is kind of insane. I also just noticed he still ended up in Memphis. One way or another, he is a Grizzly. That's kind of cool. AK-47, another Defensive Player of the Year. Most Improved goes to Kevin Love. The Wizards are kind of coming up, man. They just had another good pick, too, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe they have some solid pieces. The Sixers definitely slowed down. Still got Coach of the Year. 58 wins, though. They're not at the 70 mark anymore. Dwight Howard is still All-NBA, but Allen Iverson really kind of dropped off. I don't think he didn't make an All-NBA team whatsoever for Allen Iverson. And while they still sit at the top of the East, I wouldn't say Philly is unbeatable at this point. I feel like other teams could have a chance. They're not like the clear-cut favorites now. Boston's not too far behind with 55 wins versus Philly's 58. Their division is stacked. Philly, Celtics, and Raptors all in the same division. You got the three most wins in the East are all in the same division. That's kind of crazy. San Antonio is only 1 win behind Philly, so maybe San Antonio can make some noise. Dallas is doing well. Denver surprisingly, with James Harden and Durant, they may be having a lottery pick yet again. Another lottery pick is absolutely crazy for those guys. League leaders now by this point has probably shaken up a bit. Dwayne Wade is at the top. Durant not far behind though. Kobe Bryant's still doing his thing. Shaq has really fallen off at this point as far as overall is concerned. T-Mac is still going strong though. With no injuries, he's having a solid career. Jason Richardson is very good. Carmelo Anthony, Vince Carter, Derrick Rose already almost cracking through the top 10 very early on in his career. Let's simulate this first round, see if there's any upsets. And we do have an upset, actually. Miami. I was excited to see what Miami could do as the second seed, but they lose to the Orlando Magic. I also just noticed out west an upset as well. OKC sweeps San Antonio round 1. The Celtics went to the death with the Raptors to a game 7. Detroit got upset too. So realistically, the teams with the best chance of beating Philly all got upset. Probably the Raptors, the Pistons, the Miami Heat. That is actually devastating stuff for the Eastern Conference. It's probably going to be Philly again. Maybe Boston can pull it off. Otherwise, everything looks pretty standard. The Timberwolves are doing very good in this reality. Philly does defeat Boston in 5. I think we're going to have another Sixers finals. We do. They sweep the Atlanta Hawks. And Brook Lopez trying to lead the charge here for Atlanta. And they go up against the Warriors. So AK-47 running in the path of the Sixers yet again, but on a different team instead of Detroit these days. But Jason Richardson, as we saw, is one of the best scorers in the league. They also have Mike Conley. I think they have a solid group, man. Dwight Howard is probably going to be the biggest difference maker. Nick Carlson, he's going to have a hard time with Dwight. I think the guards and the wing rotation is kind of even for both sides. So I think this is going to fall on Dwight. The Sixers take game 1. Oh my goodness. 49 points for Sean Marion. That is ridiculous, man. Has he ever scored that many points in his career? I know in his prime he was pretty good, but 49 is crazy. 25 and 14 for Dwight. I think the Sixers are going to win again with a Sean Marion Finals MVP. That's 4 straight. Sean Marion, another Finals MVP. He's only shooting 17% from 3, but it's more than enough to get the job done. Dwight with 24 and 13. Richardson with 20. Like I said, Allen Iverson really slowing down. He's down to 19 points, 7 assists a game. This could be our last year with Philly because AI is about to take a big plummet going into the next year. And Denver got yet another #1 pick, man. They got to be one of the luckiest franchises I've ever seen. They got #1 for Durant, #2 for Harden, and then #1 for DeMarcus Cousins. And he's going to be healthy. Injuries are off, man. This is the next dynasty. Forget Philly. Denver is on the come up. John Wall goes #2 to the Pacers. The Kings get Hayward. Other than that, nothing too crazy. Paul George goes to the Wizards. They got an okay team forming. Jeremy Lin, maybe another Lin sanity run here in this reality. And we had some big names in this free agency, actually. Carmelo was the biggest name, unrestricted free agent, but he does decide to stay with the Miami Heat. He re-signs with them. Brandon Roy is on the Thunder. Steve Nash goes over to the Lakers. LaMarcus Aldridge sticks things out with the Bulls. We have Rondo signing with the Rockets, who are having a very fantastic season. Rip Hamilton is on the Timberwolves now. Other than that, though, nothing too interesting. Carmelo was the biggest name, but he did just re-sign with the Miami Heat. And we are now officially entering the LeBron era, is what 2K calls it. I gotta ask, who do you guys think, whose era would it be? If we were in this timeline in real life, LeBron never existed, whose era would this be on NBA 2K? Would it be the, I guess we gotta wait to see who performs well over the next 10 years. It might be the Kevin Durant era with that team he has over there in Denver. I was gonna say maybe the Dwayne Wade era, as good as he's been lately, but I don't know if he's gonna rattle off any championships. Chris Paul is a 99 overall now, by the way, which I feel like makes a good time to check the top players in the league. Chris Paul is apparently the best player in basketball, despite not even making a conference finals. Dwayne Wade is second best. Dwayne Wade. Kobe is second best. Dwayne Wade third. Dirk is fourth. The Mavericks have 2 of the top 4 overalls in NBA 2K in the 2011 season, but the rest of their team is horrible. Tracy McGrady's still good. Kevin Durant is doing fantastic. By the end of this, once we get to the Steph era, which I don't know if it'll even be the Steph era, I want to hear who you guys think, whose era would this be? So keep that in mind as we watch the next 6 or 7 seasons or so. Whose era would this be in? This would be 2K10, 2K11. Well, I guess eras didn't happen, and we're really getting into some weird timeline plot twist now. Eras didn't happen till like 2K22. So in 2K23 or 4, whenever era started, whose era would this be in this reality? All right, maybe it'll be the Elton Brand era, because out of nowhere he wins an MVP. 29 and 13. He was a solid player, but an MVP, come on, man. John Wall gets Rookie of the Year. I imagine DeMarcus Cousins was not getting as many looks with James Harden and Kevin Durant on the team. Jordan Crawford had a pretty good rookie campaign. 12 points, 4 assists a game for Crawford. Eric Bledsoe as well. Boris Diaw, 6 Man of the Year on the Bucks. AK-47 just keeps grabbing these Defensive Player of the Years. How many does he have now? Like 6 of these things? He's got 5. He's running off 5 straight Defensive Player of the Years for AK-47. Dante Green, he's going to be a 99 overall soon enough. He always just takes off in these sims. The Sixers still 59 wins. They are not going away. It might end up being the Sean Marion era while we're playing around here, because he is on a tear with Philly. They just cannot be stopped. I want to get to the point where we have some other teams having a chance, but no one can seem to beat them. So we're going to go straight through these playoffs again until maybe we get some more interesting playoffs. Until Philly's dethroned, I mean, we're just seeing them win over and over. They go to a game 7 here against Boston, but they win in 21. So it was like a slight scare, but not even close to enough. Paul Pierce, Chris Bosh, man, come on. 10 and 4. He's been terrible ever since winning that championship. He has not really done much. I guess he's averaging some solid numbers. 23 and 12. He's definitely an all-star kind of a guy, but it has not been enough. We have the Charlotte Hornets in the conference finals, 7th seed. Bargnani, I told you to get good. Luol Deng, out west. Kobe Bryant is still managing to get to the conference finals. No Shaq. Oh, they got Steve Nash. I forgot they do have Steve Nash. So this is a Kobe and Nash team up before Nash was completely ruined by injuries. And the Bobcats actually steal game 1. Philly claws back. Bobcats up 2-1. Philly might lose. Philly might lose. Oh, they force a game 7. They come back down 3-1. Oh my goodness, we have a game 7. Can the 76ers finally be dethroned by the Bobcats of all teams? I was not expecting Charlotte to do it, and they're not going to. Philly has it in the bag in game 7. 31-13 from Dwight. They have Manu Ginobili now? Where did Ginobili come from, man? They traded for Ginobili. How in the world did they end up landing Manu Ginobili? Who did they give up for that? Transaction report is what I'm looking for. Philly, let's look at trades. Benu Udrih straight up for Ginobili? What are the Clippers doing, man? We have a Spurs matchup now. Tim Duncan again. We've had this matchup once or twice. Tony Parker, Corey Maggette. Ginobili facing his would-be Spurs team. Philly takes game 1. They got this, man. It's not even going to be close. This is 5 straight champions for the 76ers. Another Finals MVP for Sean Marion. It's going to be the Sean Marion era. I can't believe this, man. That is actually crazy. Chris Webber retires. Ben Wallace retires. We're getting to the point where some of these guys are going to start retiring. I cannot believe what we just witnessed. Unbelievable. Manu Ginobili on the Sixers somehow. The Pacers have the best odds. The Knicks are right back in the sweepstakes for number 1. And they're right back to falling to number 5. The Cavaliers have number 2. The Cavaliers finally getting a good pick after missing out on a chance at LeBron James so many years ago. Let's go and assimilate to the user. No, I need to assimilate the entire draft. What am I doing? Who gets number 1? Kawhi goes to the Pistons with Dwayne Wade. I just remember they still have Dwayne Wade. The Cavaliers, they end up getting the short end of the stick. You see what I'm doing? Isaiah Thomas. I guess it is the short end of the stick. He had a good career, but can a 5'9" point guard, as good as he was at his peak, can a 5'9" point guard really win you a championship? Klay Thompson goes to the Kings. The Knicks get Jimmy Butler. They lucked out. They got a solid piece. I can't believe Kyrie dropped to 4. Kyrie and Dwayne Wade would have been crazy. The Mavericks added a center to go alongside Dirk and Chris Paul. Kemba to the Bulls. Vucevic to the Wizards. And the Pistons are getting scary good now. They got Gilbert Arenas to go alongside Dwayne Wade and now their rookie Kawhi. That's a very big pickup for Detroit. The Marcus All goes, he resigns with the Grizzlies. Joakim Noah on the Nets. Billups is over to the Nuggets. Greg Oden is on the Cavaliers now. They're taking their chances with Greg Oden. Ron Artest back into his career. Of course, the Nuggets re-signed Kevin Durant. He was restricted. They weren't going to just let him walk. That was a no-brainer. But now going into this next season, the 2011-2012 season, I actually am very excited to see how Detroit does. I feel like the Sixers are not going to be the first seed for the first time in a while. This is a great team. Wade, Arenas, and Kawhi. Unfortunately, they don't have a good big man. That's like the one thing they're missing. They probably could have been better off with a big man as opposed to Gilbert Arenas. They have a lot of guys that need the ball in their hand. Maybe they won't do that good. The Pacers with Jermaine O'Neal and John Wall. Some of these teams around the league starting to build up. JJ Redick, Harden, Durant, and Cousins. Chauncey Billups. It's only a matter of time. Eric Gordon coming off the bench. Yo, they got a squad over here in Denver. It's only a matter of time before they make it to the NBA Finals. Chris Paul and Dirk, unfortunately, still have no help. The Orlando Magic have kept essentially their same team from the early 2000s. I thought this was Grant Hill for a second. It's not, though. Kobe Bryant and Steve Nash still in the Lakers. DJ Augustine is the Knicks' best player. Again, just an absolute embarrassment from that franchise. Steph Curry and Dante Green together. This could be a good lineup because I'm telling you, Dante Green will be a 99 overall by the end of this. Russell Westbrook really coming too. Some of these teams around the league starting to form some great rosters. It may be up in the air for the next couple of seasons. Chris Bosh down to an 88. Paul Pierce kind of falling off. I would love to see Chris Bosh go somewhere else, have a chance to compete. The Bulls have Aldridge, Tyson Chandler. The Bulls aren't looking too good. Ray Allen is sticking things out with the Bucks. Of course, we saw the Bobcats get to Game 7 of the conference finals. They're a team to watch. Allen Iverson down to a 79. I am inclined to think that this is no more than like a 5th seed. The Sixers run should finally be over. Elton Brand continuing to run 31-13. My goodness, Isaiah Thomas. I was talking some crap. He ends up getting Rookie of the Year. Shout out to Isaiah Thomas. Boris Diaw getting 6th Man of the Year. These awards are starting to get a little repetitive. Somehow the Sixers, man, there's just no stopping these guys. There is absolutely no stopping these guys. As good as some of these other teams are getting around the league, like Kyle Lowry, all NBA first team is kind of insane. But as good as some of these teams are getting around the league, Philly is still standing at the top. I just simply don't get it. And the Pistons were actually not good. They're doing very bad, which makes no sense to me. You have Dwayne Wade. Like I said, they don't have a big man. Maybe they should have got a big. The Wizards are doing good. I think they have Kevin Love and DeMar DeRozan. A very interesting offense over there forming. The Pistons falling down. The Heat are falling off the face of the earth. Carmelo, he's got to leave Miami soon. Phoenix is the best team out west. The Nuggets, like I said, it was only a matter of time before they get to the finals. Before we summate this season, or these playoffs, I should say, let's take a look at the league leaders. Elton Brand is the best scorer in basketball. Dirk, Derrick Rose, Amari is still doing very good. With no injuries, Amari's playing great. Kevin Durant took a big hit to his score, and of course, paired alongside DeMarcus Cousins and James Harden. You have to imagine he gets a few less touches there. Steph Curry starting to light things up, developing quite nicely. The Jazz are not contenders just yet, but they should be soon enough with Steph. And Philly actually gets bounced in round 1. Finally, we will have a new champion. T-Mac is able to overcome the Philadelphia 76ers, averages 26 per game. This is not who I thought would be the end to Philly, but it ends up being the end to Philly. Finally, we will have a new champion announced. 25 for Sean Marion, 20 and almost 15 for Dwight as they coast off and finally lose. So now I have to wonder who is going to be in the conference finals, who has a chance at the NBA finals. You have the Bucks, the 3rd seed Bucks versus the 8th seed Magic. The Magic on quite a run. Tracy McGrady trying to make it to the finals. They go up against Ray Allen and Michael Redd, Blake Griffin, Lou Will as well. I kind of like Orlando's chances, though, to make it to the finals. They're going to be playing either the Phoenix Suns or the San Antonio Spurs. The Suns, one of the best teams in the league. Joe Johnson, Amari, Roy Hibbert protecting the paint, Ty Lawson, Trevor Ariza. They don't really have a superstar per se on their team. I mean, Amari's very good. Joe Johnson is a great scorer. But they just have a lot of guys that are working well together. Just a good quality lineup of solid guys. No one on this team is like, yeah, that's a weak point. All very good. The Spurs, they have been trying effortlessly to win this championship. They have not been able to get it past Philly. As this year they finally do it. They make it to the finals versus the Magic. And I think San Antonio is finally going to get their championship. Versus T-Mac, going to do the unthinkable and actually win a championship. Before we check that out, though, Game 7, the Magic went to a Game 7, won by 3. McGrady with 39 in the Game 7, a huge game. Game 1 of the finals goes to the Magic. T-Mac in his finals debut with 24. Mike Miller put up 20. Mike Miller still playing hard here at his old age. 26, 12, and 6 for Duncan was not enough. I think the Spurs still got the edge. The Magic go up 2-0, though. It has looked like the 8th seed Magic are about to win a championship. Unbelievable. They sweep the Spurs. T-Mac, what a run through the postseason. 28 points a night, 3.5 boards, 2.5 assists. Tracy McGrady is an NBA champion here in this reality. Duncan averaged 19.5, 14-4 with 2 blocks. It wasn't enough. Tony Parker's 22 and 8. Couldn't get it done. Mike Miller was a huge second piece for T-Mac. What a run. Not what I was expecting. How many wins did they have on the season? They were 41-41, and they just won the entire thing. But the biggest news is the Philadelphia 76ers are finally at the end of their dynasty. We can start to see some other teams take on the throne here. It's been a long time coming. Jason Kidd retires. He was on the Magic. Jason Kidd wins a championship with Orlando here. Maybe he was the difference maker. Was that his first season with Orlando? Kind of like he was with Dallas. Yeah, it was first season with Orlando. Kind of like with Dallas with Dirk. He went over there and helped them win that championship. That was a pretty cool send-off. Taj Gibson retiring at only 27 in this reality. It's kind of crazy considering he's playing at like 40, 41. He's one of the oldest players in the league right now. He's up there with LeBron, believe it or not. Yet again, New York has one of the best odds at the number 1 pick. They have yet to get it. Let's see if they can finally land number 1. They don't. They dropped down to 3. OKC gets number 1. And they were close to the finals not that long ago. I think they went to like a game 7 of the conference finals, if I'm not mistaken. This is the 2012 draft class. So there's definitely some talent in here. Anthony Davis goes number 1. Drummond 2. The Knicks get Harrison Barnes. The Knicks, come on, man. Damian Lillard was right there. No way we didn't take Damian Lillard because we have DJ Augustine. There's just no way that's a thing. Draymond goes to the Pistons. I don't know if the space in there is going to work with Dwayne Wade, but I guess we'll see how that pans out. The Nuggets get another piece with Austin Rivers. And that should be all the big names here in this draft class. We're halfway into simulating this season, a little over halfway, I should say, about 60 games in, and Philly is sitting at the 8th, 9th seed. They're at the bottom of the conference. That loss was like the final straw for their dynasty they built. Dirk finally gets an MVP. He's averaging 31 and 12. A crazy year for Dirk in 2013. Still on the hunt for his first ring. Anthony Davis, Rookie of the Year. Bledsoe, Defensive Player of the Year, is still AK-47. Anthony Davis in the lead now, though. Eventually, he's got to start to slow down. Someone else has to get a DPOY. Paul George. I forgot the Wizards have Paul George. They may actually be the number 1 seed in the East, to be honest. They have a very good roster. Brandon Roy is All-NBA first team for the Thunder. John Wall and Derrick Rose share the guard spots on the All-NBA second team. Melo is still there wasting away in Miami. He's got 1 more year left in his contract. We may see a Melo move here very, very soon. Washington does land the 1 seed, so things are finally looking different. Philly, they worked their way up to 4. They were sitting at 8. They worked their way up. The Knicks are probably still at the bottom. They are. Knicks fans, I'll pray for you. The Magic, 1 year removed from a championship at the 12th seed. That was a lucky run, if we're being honest, man. That's a once in a lifetime kind of a run. The Wizards with 58 wins. They had a great year. Denver, the 8th seed, man. I'm not understanding how Denver is so low. They have so much talent. The Spurs are still doing good. The Jazz. Let's go take a look at the Bucks and the Wizards, 2 of the surprise teams. The Wizards have built up quite the group, though. Ray Allen, Blake Griffin, Boris Diaw coming off the bench. We've seen this team a couple times in the playoffs. I'm surprised they're so high, to be honest. The Wizards, though, like I mentioned earlier, Kevin Love and DeRozan. I forgot they have Paul George, Vitaly Kiba, Kwame Brown, Jordan Farmar. Odom's a good piece off the bench. Tony Allen's a solid piece. Vooch is probably the starting center. They got some good guys. A little bit high as the 1 seed, but as these guys all start to develop together, this is a fantastic core. Not a lot of defense. I mean, you got Paul George, I guess, but DeRozan and Kevin Love, kind of sketchy there. Derrick Rose's Blazers, yeah, they're not really building much. Yo, did Zach Randolph get something in his eyes or something? Did they snap that while he was asleep? What's going on? Kevin Garnett has not left the Timberwolves in this reality. He's rotting away. The Thunder, they got a promising core here with Anthony Davis and Brandon Roy. The Suns still got Joe Johnson and Amari. The Spurs are looking as good as ever. The Rockets, Rondo and Yao Ming core is pretty cool, I gotta say. I'm surprised the Raptors haven't been doing better. This is a good squad. Vince is getting old, but he's still 92 overall. Kyle Lowry, Pau Gasol, DeAndre Jordan. They got a good unit. I'd like to see more of them. Same with the Pistons. I don't know how they're not doing a little bit better. John Wall and Kyrie. I didn't realize they have both Wall and Kyrie. So Kyrie's probably coming off the bench. No, 34 minutes. No, I guess they got one of them playing a shooting guard. It's probably Kyrie playing shooting guard. That's interesting. A very small lineup for those guys. Still beyond me how the Nuggets are not better. The Nets are led by Joakim Noah. That's rough. This Mavericks team, they got to at least make a finals, man. Chris Paul, he's addicted to it. You got to get him into the finals. The Magic completely fell off. Kobe and Nash still out there. I would like to see Kobe change. Maybe he's got 4 more years. He's not going to change teams. He's going to be a Laker through retirement. I wanted to see him maybe try to win one more ring, but I doubt that happens. Enough yapping. Let's get into these playoffs. Simulate the first round. I want to just go straight to the conference finals, see what kind of matchups we have, and then we can look back at everything. Philly lost at 7. They almost pushed forward. I think this is their second first round exit in a row. Phillies, they're done. Their run is over. The Bucks actually went to 7 against the Cavaliers. Ray Allen put up 30 in the win there, and then they went to game 7 against the Pistons, where it was all Lou Will leading the charge, 24. Dwayne Wade, man, they just have not been able to get it done. A few MVPs, but Wade has not had a lot of team success, unfortunately. Even though he was drafted to a very good Pistons team, a good situation for him, it is not panning out. Dallas may finally make a finals. They're up against Kobe Bryant and the Lakers with Steve Nash. Chris Paul, much younger than Steve Nash. I like the Chris Paul matchup. Dirk could probably match Kobe's scoring. This is a toss-up, man. This could really go either way. The Mavericks got 2K generated guys in the starting lineup, while the Lakers only have 1. And then we have the Wizards versus the Bucks, and I like the Wizards' odds of making it to the finals. I think whoever comes out the West here, though, probably wins it. It's the Mavericks and the Wizards. The Mavericks win in 5. They completely smoked the Lakers. Dirk is averaging 32 a game, the MVP in this playoff run, 32 and 13. What's his recent games looking like up against the Lakers? 28, 25, 26. Some huge games. 25 and 20 is crazy. Chris Paul, he's doing his thing, scoring and setting the floor for Dirk. And now we have a finals match with the Wizards versus the Mavericks. Finally, some new faces here year after year. It's exciting to see. Chris Paul making his finals debut. Same with Dirk. This is also Dirk's first finals appearance. Kevin Love, Paul George, Nikola Vucevic, all in their debut as well. I thought they had, is DeRozan coming off the bench for these guys? I feel like that's a mistake. You got to start Paul George at the 3, put DeRozan at the 2, if you ask me. I don't know. Maybe DeRozan is their scoring punch off the bench. I got the Mavericks here. They got a lot of veterans. The Wizards are kind of young. I like the Mavericks veteran leadership here, but the Wizards, they come out, go up 1-0, tied up 1-1. The Wizards kind of running away with it. I think the Wizards got it, man, unfortunately. Too much scoring here. You got DeRozan come off the bench, put up 20-point games. Kevin Love, he's averaging 19, 17. He's getting some huge numbers. He had an 18 and 20 game. Vucevic is doing his thing, scoring. Paul George is playing well. This may be the start of the next big run. The Washington Wizards, a championship. Paul George, in only year like 3 or 4, I think, is a finals MVP. This is season 3. Already a finals MVP. Most improved player under his belt. What a run for Paul George as the Wizards win the championship. Steve Nash wraps it up there after they fall short of the finals. Jason Terry calls it a career. Steven Jackson. Man, I wanted to see Dirk win one. I mean, he still has a chance. He just landed the MVP. He's playing young for sure. The Warriors have the best odds at number 1. The Knicks are in the mix again. The Hawks. The Knicks finally do it. New York gets the number 1 pick in the 2013 draft. Hopefully they do not mess this up. They take Giannis. Finally, the Knicks. I just wanted the Knicks to do something, man. They have been so bad this entire draft. Otto Porter goes 3. The Bulls take another 2K generated guy. Every time the Bulls have a high pick in this, they keep taking these 2K generated dudes. The Knicks got definitely the best player in the draft. They did not mess it up. They get Giannis. Finally, somebody that they can build around. Any notable free agents? Carmelo's unrestricted. The DeRozan's restricted. The only really notable guy is Carmelo. Everyone else is restricted, so they probably all re-sign. Let's see where Melo ends up going. He goes to Phoenix. Carmelo shaking things up, is now with the Phoenix Suns, joining a roster of Amari Stoudemire and Joe Johnson. A lot of scoring there. Not a lot of defense. This has got to be like the best offensive team we've ever seen. The 5'11" Ty Lawson leading the charge too as point guard, as the floor general. No defense. It's all offense over there. That's actually insane. Going into this next year, my big guys to watch are the Mavericks again. I think Dwight's only 87 in this reality. His development kind of took a back seat to all the championships. If he wasn't with them, he probably develops better. But my teams to watch here are the Mavericks again. See if they can get back there. They got Danny Granger. I think that was a new pickup for them. The Nuggets. I think you still got to look at the Nuggets. I mean, look how stacked they are. These guys are fantastic. And then the Suns. The Suns will be interesting to watch with all this offense now. The Wizards are still very good. They did not re-sign DeRozan. They let him walk. They just let DeRozan walk. That is insane. Where did DeMar DeRozan go? I can't. They have him restricted. They could have paid the money and kept him. That is unbelievable. I don't even see DeRozan. Did nobody sign DeRozan? Is he listed as a small forward? Where is DeMar DeRozan at? Unreal. DeMar is just sitting in free agency for anyone to sign. He's just there. Just rotting away, an 86 overall, 24-year-old scoring machine. I mean, granted, people think Relations is annoyed. I don't blame them. Annoyed Relations. I would be annoyed as well, man. First of all, he should have been starting. They just won a championship with him. That's unbelievable. I know some people say that he's not great in the playoffs and iffy on the spacing and not a great defender, but yo, come on, man. DeMar DeRozan absolutely should be on a team. At 24, man, get out of here. 2K is ridiculous with that. They'll probably sign him. He may already be signed somewhere. Yeah, someone sign him. We'll see if we run into him again. I'm not going to go hunt him down. But yeah, thankfully somebody signed him. And we may have stumbled upon the era of the Nuggets. Kevin Durant gets his first MVP in 2014. Jeffrey Payton is the rookie of the year. Or Jeffrey Patton, not even a real human. Let me find out the Knicks are wasting away Giannis. Where is Giannis? Is Giannis not even playing? Giannis only played 6 games? What are the Knicks doing? I know he was a raw prospect as a rookie, but come on, man. A minute a game? What in the world are the Knicks doing? That is absolutely unbelievable. I can't explain it. Dwight finally gets the defensive player of the year. He's averaging 30, 14 and a half, 2.5 blocks a game. Dwight is playing fantastic, but it's not enough to make the playoffs. We'll see that in just a second. The Sixers were horrible. Chris Bosh is All-NBA first team as well. John Wall makes the mix. Dwayne Wade and Carmelo are nowhere to be found. Dwayne Wade makes the third team. I would not have guessed that Chris Bosh would be the only guy with an All-NBA first selection here from that draft class come 2014. Wade and Melo have both vanished. Actually, this should be around where Wade and Bosh both start to slow down, especially Bosh. I guess we have injuries off, so the unfortunate circumstance he had with the blood clots won't be a thing. The Sixers, though, they were absolutely abysmal. Despite Dwight playing so fantastic, they're the 10th seed, 36 wins on the year. Not doing good. The Pistons are awful, man. I can't believe they're so bad. The Knicks are the 9th seed, though. They worked their way up after acquiring Giannis. The Wizards are still the team to beat out east, 59 wins now. And then out west, things are really shaking up. The Denver Nuggets, the best team, as I was hoping to see. Carmelo is back on the winning side of things with Phoenix. They're the 5th seed. We got to go check out the Kings. I don't know how they're the 2nd seed. Steph's Jazz are the 4th seed with 51 wins. And I just noticed Kobe Bryant is completely out of the playoffs. Let's go take a look at that Kings roster. How are they so good to land that high of a seed? They have Klay Thompson, Gordon Hayward, Paul Millsap, Tyrese Thomas, Jeff Teague. Jeff Teague is everywhere, man. Serge. They have a lot of like middle of the pack guys. No, again, a team with like no stars, but a lot of really, really good players. So similar to some of these other rosters we have seen that have found some success. Isaiah Thomas is actually leading the league in points per game. I was talking bad about him, but I wasn't talking bad. I respect he was a fantastic scorer. What he was able to do at 5'9" is insane. Insane. To me, that's more impressive than some of these players that are performing well at like 6'4", 6'5". What he was able to do at 5'9", I think is a lot more impressive than a lot of these other guys. It's just, I don't know if you're winning a championship with a 5'9" guard. I think he's too much of a liability come the playoffs to be 5'9". But what he's able to accomplish at his height, absolutely unbelievable. Inspirational, I'm sure, to a lot of people. Dwight Howard, 2nd leading scorer in the league. Vince Carter's still doing his thing. Derrick Rose is up here. Paul George fully broke out. After that Finals MVP, Paul George is starting to run it up. John Wall is doing good. Dirk still fighting for a spot at a championship, unfortunately. Kevin Durant, 27 tonight. Kyrie's doing well. Kobe's starting to slow down, but he's still up here. 11th leading scorer in the NBA. Let's go and simulate these first couple of rounds, get to the conference finals, see how things are panning out. The Cavaliers make it in round 2. They actually defeat the Wizards in round 2. Isaiah Thomas, I guess he's about to show me. Can he lead a team to the championship? He's about to show me if it's possible. He goes up against the Celtics, who we have not seen in a while. Paul Pierce and Chris Bosh. After years and years and years, they finally make it back to the conference finals. All-NBA first team for Chris Bosh. I actually want to go take a look at Bosh's numbers because I was not expecting him to be this far into the playoffs. Chris Bosh having a fantastic year, though. All-NBA first team. He's averaging 24 and a half, 11 points a night. Pierce is still averaging just over 20. And we have the Spurs and the Jazz out west. The Jazz team just defeated the Nuggets. So Steph Curry, Rodney, Dante Green. I told you Dante Green would be good. Somehow they defeat the Denver Nuggets. That's actually crazy to me. Boston takes game 1. We may finally have the Celtics back in the finals. They're up 2-1. The Spurs are up 2-0. The Cavs knotted up. Celtics go up. We have a game 7 out east. Isaiah Thomas with 31 to keep the season alive. 31-8. And then they have Gian Leon. Is he even in the NBA at this point? Is he in the 2008 draft? Is this accurate? Isn't this a guy that's in the NBA now? Or am I thinking of, I might be thinking of someone else. I'm not sure. We have a game 7 though. Let's simulate with Simcast. See how this one pans out. Boston is at home. It's going to be hard to win a game 7 in Boston. And they're up big. It's not going to be close down the stretch. Actually, it is. It is kind of close down the stretch. We're going to jump in. See if Isaiah Thomas can pull it off. The Cavaliers do have the basketball down by 2 with just about a minute to go in this game. And I actually don't see Isaiah Thomas on the court. They got to get him checked in ASAP down the stretch here. Greg Oden is fighting for a spot in the NBA Finals as well. I think this is Wagner with the ball. Yee has it. He almost loses it. Chris Bosh fighting for it. Bernard. A lot of these guys aren't even real players. We're looking at 2K generated guys compete at a high level. Wagner, the fake Kyrie Irving, number 2 with the size of moves, the mid-range jumper. Bosh gets the board. Greg Oden almost snatched. I think that was John Henson he threw. Paul Pierce with the basketball, looking for the dagger, drives it in. Pierce kicks out at the Bosh. Bosh to drive. This is sloppy. Chris Bosh goes in the post. They kick it out to Howard. Over to Henderson. John Henson with the screen. Henderson coming around in the pull-up midi. He kicks down low to Henson. What a pass! And what a dunk to extend the lead to 4. Coming out the timeout, unless the Cavaliers got something up their sleeve here, this could be over. Little tiny fella Isaiah Thomas on the court. The little guy with the basketball. Can he come up big? He's getting the screen. We need a 3 here. Or a quick 2. He's taking way too long. You got to go for the 3 now. Isaiah Thomas trying to drive it in. Throws almost a turnover. It's out of bounds on the Celtics. This is their last opportunity. You have to score quick here and then play the free throw game. It's now or never time. Hardy on the inbound. They're trying to get Isaiah Thomas freed up off the inbound. They find him for 2. He doesn't shoot it. He's too little, man. The contest would have been there. You got to shoot the 3. Hardy, this is horrible. Own it for 3. What are we doing? It's over. And in the closeout game 7, Chris Bosh with 25, 9, and 6, 2 steals. Pierce had 23. And then for the Cavaliers, Isaiah Thomas at 29, 13. He had a pretty solid game. It was just not enough in the end. Juan Wagner, he was playing great. Averaged 16 on the year. Had a very good game 7. 35 points. Just was not enough. So the Celtics advanced to the finals. I think they play San Antonio. Oh, it's up in the air. They have a game 7 out west as well. Let's take a look. Tim Duncan versus Steph Curry and the Jazz. It's in San Antonio. The home court team won in the East. Can they do it in the West as well? It's looking like a yes. They win by 13. Duncan with 32 and 12. Morrison with 24. Adam Morrison put up 24 is crazy. Steph with 31 and 10. Green with 20 and 10. This is a different D Green. It's not Draymond Green and Steph. It's Dante Green and Steph. So same kind of dynamic here, just completely different player. So now we have a matchup between Chris Bosh and Tim Duncan and Paul Pierce and Adam Morrison. Not words I thought I would ever say out of my mouth, but here we are. Chris Bosh and Tim Duncan did duel with the Heat and the Spurs in real life. And here, Tim Duncan gets game 1. The Celtics knotted up. Celtics go up 2-1, 3-1. The Celtics are about to win 3-2. Oh, we have a game 7. I thought the Celtics were going to do it, man. It's been like 6 or 7, no, almost 10 years since they won back in 05. They finally clawed back against all the odds, but the Spurs win in game 6 by 2. This is anyone's game here in game 7. It's in San Antonio. The Spurs might come back down 3-1. They're up already in the first half, going in the second half, up by double digits. Can they hang on to this lead down the stretch? They're going to. The San Antonio Spurs, I think this is their 40 for Adam Morrison in a game 7. My goodness, 29-13 for Duncan. Pierce at 33. Bosh with 12. A no-show in game 7 for Bosh. 5 for 13. And it's going to be Tim Duncan Finals MVP. I was a little scared Adam Morrison was about to win Finals MVP. That would have been detrimental to this video. I think this is the first championship the Spurs have won, right? Yeah, we had the big run from the Sixers. We had the Magic and the Wizards. The East won every year for a long time. The Spurs finally get a title. Their first one since 99 in this reality. No Spurs dynasty here with no LeBron James, which is kind of funny because the Spurs kind of affected LeBron's legacy. But here with no LeBron, the Spurs just fall off the face of the map, apparently. Tim Duncan finally gets another championship. The Celtics almost got it done. That was absolutely crazy. Retirements. We have Brad Miller, Mike Bibby. Nobody really notable. I was wondering if like Dirk or Tim Duncan decide to retire. We're starting to get to that point where those guys could be retiring. In the draft lottery, the Timberwolves have the best odds. The Rockets, the Pistons are there. The Thunder, the Hawks get it. The Thunder get the 2. OKC keeps getting some high picks, man. OKC is really lucky in any reality with these draft picks. Dante Exum, what? Come on, man. You know, when you see an organization do something like that, bro, it's just like you deserve to be in the lottery, man. And you don't deserve the #1 pick. Why are we drafting Dante Exum with him? Jokic, I can understand passing on him. No one really expected him to be much. That's why he went second round with a Taco Bell commercial. But passing on Embiid, or even guys like Wiggins or Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon, even for Dante Exum, come on, man. That's just crazy. Jokic though goes to the Pistons. That's an interesting pairing now alongside Dwayne Wade. And I think that the Thunder, I don't remember who they have. They have someone good, right? Brandon Roy, I think. Yeah, and Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis and Joel Embiid now. That's going to be quite the front court with Brandon Roy. The Pistons now added Jokic. They still have Dwayne Wade and Kawhi. Gilbert Arenas in the back end of his career. And Draymond Green. That'll be interesting to see as well. The free agency is what I'm excited for, though. We have Chris Paul, we have Kevin Durant, we have Carmelo Anthony, Rondo, Marc Gasol as our notable unrestricted free agents. Let's see if there's any changes. Will Durant leave? Durant, they have not been able to make the finals. He doesn't leave. He stays. The Mavericks still retain Chris Paul. Carmelo moves to the Timberwolves. DeMarcus Cousins stays on the Nuggets. John Wall on the Pacers. Rondo stays on the Rockets. Marc Gasol goes back to the Grizzlies. Didn't he leave? I could have sworn he left. I thought he left for someone else. I must have been thinking of a different person. Maybe that was Pau Gasol. Wizards retain Paul George as well. You know, we're gonna go into this next season, the 2014-15 season. We have about a decade left. We're over an hour into this video. Sometimes, you know, this puts into perspective just how long LeBron has dominated, because the fact that we're an hour in, we're only halfway through LeBron's career. This is when he went back to Cleveland. He already won a few championships by this point. He's got like a whole nother career left to go. Unreal stuff. And things are really starting to get crazy in this sim now. Paul George with an MVP. Jokic is the rookie of the year. Kyrie is coming off the bench for John Wall. I figured he was. So I guess that 34 minutes a game was not him starting. It's just him playing heavy minutes off the bench. Another DPOY for Dwight. All-NBA first team is starting to be relatively names you would expect during this time frame. You got to see Curry getting in there, though. Curry should be in the mix by now. That's actually kind of surprising. James Harden as well, maybe Russell Westbrook. Some of these names are actually a little bit surprising now that I come to think of the guys that should be up that high at this point in time. The Wizards are the top of the East. The Jazz are the top of the West. This might be Steph Curry's stretch starting early. 67 wins. His 65 wins for the Wizards. The Bulls are the second seed at 47. The Kings are still doing good. The Mavericks are the third seed at 35 and 47 because of the way that the divisions worked back then. Whoever was the top of the division was the top 3 seeds of the standing. So that division in Texas is just horrible. That means the Spurs are bad. The Rockets are awful. That is insane. 35 and 47 as the third seed is crazy. 32 games back. That Dallas team is awful. Chicago, I gotta go see who they have that they're this high now. The Jazz, they bring anyone new to Steph, or is Steph just taking off? The Bulls have Aldridge, Kemba Walker, the 2K generated guy, Jeremy Lin. It's kind of surprising they're the second seed. Utah, yeah, it's just Dante Green and Steph going crazy. So we'll simulate to the conference finals again like we have been doing. The Jazz actually get upset in game 7. We have to go check that out. That is crazy. They lose a game 7 by 13 as well. Steph with 29. What was he? He was averaging 25 and 7 in these playoffs. Stuckey was averaging 15 and a half. Rodney Stuckey being one of your top scorers is crazy. Dante Green was 17. They lost Derrick Rose 47 in a game 7, 47 and 12. He's averaging 29 and 11 here in these playoffs. My goodness, Derrick Rose, what a run for a 7-game stretch. He had some huge games here. These are the ones against, where's the ones against Utah? Is recent? Oh, I already simulated past that. Utah, he had 38, 44, 47, 25, 37. These games against Denver are not good. I feel like they probably lost to Denver. I didn't see yet. Yeah, they lost to Denver. No surprise there. So we have the Sixers versus the Cavs and the Kings versus the Nuggets. The Wizards got upset by the Cavs. I think they did last year too, if I'm not mistaken. And Philly is back in the mix. I just realized Philly is right back in the mix, man. They weren't gone for long. Dwight leading the charge. What is Dwight averaging this year? He got him right back in this thing. Unbelievable. Dwight Howard averaging 20 and 14. He's leading his team right back to the promised land, man. No way they make it to another finals. The Kings, I don't remember who they have. They have Jeff Teague, of course, Klay Thompson, Gordon Hayward. That's right. This is the team with a lot of like mid-tier, like close to all-star, maybe not all-stars, maybe like a couple of all-star appearances, not a perennial thing, versus a team of potential MVPs, man. Harden, Durant, DeMarcus Cousins. Philly takes game 1. Philly may be back in the finals. They take game 2. They're smoking Cleveland. Isaiah Thomas can't stop them. Isaiah Thomas doesn't have enough to do. Philly makes it back to the finals after being like the 10th or 11th seed or something, and Denver is finally breaking through to the NBA Finals. And we now have the team, the dynasty from years ago that won 5 straight. This is like on some Steph Curry stuff where he came back and won in 2022 after everyone counted them off. We wrote off the Sixers. I thought they were done. They're back. They're back for more. And they're up against the new guys in town, James Harden, Durant, and DeMarcus Cousins. The group trying to start a new dynasty. Number 34 for James Harden just looks very jarring. Game 1 is going to go to Philly. There's no way they win again, man. No way. 22 for Harden in his finals debut. 21 for Durant in his finals debut. DeMarcus Cousins is getting dog walked by Dwight. And it's not even Dwight. It's Gerald Green. We all know Gerald Green. Y'all remember using Gerald Green back in the day? No wonder why they're so good. Gerald Green is a monster on 2K. He's insane. Denver wins game 2. Cousins 44. All right, he did not, like I said, that I said Dwight dog walked him, because he just gave Dwight the business. 44 and 11, 21 and 15 for Durant, 23 for JJ Redick. I low-key forgot they had JJ. James Harden is a no-show in these finals. My goodness. They win game 3, so they finally go up. Sean Marion had a throwback game with 24. James Harden with 39-13. So much for a no-show. He's turning it up. Kevin Durant with 31. Eric Gordon with 24. This is big if they win this one. Philly knots it up, man. Dwight with 34 and 24. Goodness gracious. 28 for Sean. 28 for Gordon. This was a 7-point game. This is a huge game 5 to shift momentum. Denver does take it. Kevin Durant with 31. Cousins with 29, 12, and 6. James Harden, another slow game. Dwight doing his thing. 15 and 19 from the field. And Denver wins. I thought we were going to have a game 7. Finals MVP, man. Who could this be? It's really up in the air. Kevin Durant, I think. Yeah, Kevin Durant, 26, 9, and 7. Durant wins his first title with James Harden. KD and Harden win together. Dwight honestly probably could have won Finals MVP on the losing team. He had a great series. They didn't even have any business being here, but Dwight got him there. Dwight re-signed for 5 years. I was going to say, I wonder if he's going to be a free agent, maybe sign with a new team. Does not look like it. Very good season, honestly, from all these players. Very good series here in the finals. They win a championship. Kevin Garnett retires. He plays for the Timberwolves his entire career in this reality. We have Chauncey Billups retiring. Paul Pierce retires. Yeah, Chris Bosh. Chris Bosh has to get out of there now, man. He has nobody left to help him. Here's the draft results. Cat still ends up on the Timberwolves. Porzingis goes to the Clippers. Devin Booker is on the Hawks. Let's take a look at any notable free agents that we have. Derrick Rose is definitely the big one. Derrick Rose could really shift up the league if he leaves Portland. And let's take a look at the signed guys. Derrick Rose goes to the Thunder. Oh, man. That definitely just shook things up. They lost Brennan Roy, though. He goes out to Boston to team up with Chris Bosh, but that is huge. Marcus Aldridge re-signs with the Bulls. The Knicks have Jimmy Butler now. Did they draft him? They did draft him, right? They have Jimmy Butler and Giannis together. Not so great for the floor spacing aspect of things, but Derrick Rose to the Thunder. That is a big move. Who did they have? They have Embiid, correct? I think they have Embiid and another big man, if I'm not mistaken. Anthony Davis, Embiid, and Derrick Rose. Yo, that paint is not safe. Pray for other teams' interior defense. Just pray for them. That's all I ask. And now the Nuggets are just trading off MVPs. DeMarcus Cousins gets one this year. The defending champs added another MVP. Anthony Davis, Defensive Player of the Year. Joel Embiid, Most Improved. The Thunder are looking scary. I haven't looked at the standings yet, but they got to be pretty high. They end up landing the 4th seed. I would have expected a little bit more, but once Joel Embiid really gets developed, that's a terrifying team. The Jazz are the 3rd seed now. Denver is number 1 again. Washington is still playing well, 65 and 17. And I just remember, we have not seen where DeMar DeRozan ended up landing up. The New York Knicks are now 46 and 36. They're finally in a regular playoff rotation. The 76ers are sitting at the 6th seed. No way they make it to the finals again. There's just no way. Dwight's still doing his thing though, 26 and 13. Let's take a look at the league leaders at this point. Isaiah Thomas still leading the league in scoring. Paul George, one of the best scorers in the league. Anthony Davis is up there. DeMarcus Cousins, Steph, all these guys that you would expect to see up here are finally up here. John Wall and Dwight at this point being some of the best scorers is pretty cool. Damian Lillard's finally getting into the mix. Kobe is still around. He's probably got 1 or 2 seasons left. Kawhi Leonard and the Pistons. Dwayne Wade, I just realized, is in the back end of his career at this point. And then Carmelo is also a bit of an afterthought. Did Carmelo retire? Or is he a free agent and we just missed him? Did he go somewhere else? Hold on. Where's Carmelo Anthony, man? He went to the Timberwolves. Did we see that? Did I miss that? Didn't they just have a high draft pick? Who all did they have? They have Carmelo, Schroeder, Karl Anthony Towns. Yeah, they just got the #1 pick. I didn't even realize that. Dwayne Wade is on the back end of his career as well. He's 34 now. I hate that they haven't had any success, man. It just has not panned out for D Wade whatsoever. Let's get into these playoffs. Assimilate over to the conference finals again. The Nuggets, we keep having round 1 upsets over here for the first seed in the West. Defending champs losing 7 to Bradley Beal and Drew Holiday, Pekovic, Marc Gasol. Pretty good defensive lineup with Drew Holiday and Marc Gasol. The Jazz also lose. They get upset by the Pelicans with Westbrook and DeRozan. There he is. There he is. We were just talking about him. Steph did not have enough to get it done there. So the West is fully open. All the top seeds, other than the Sacramento Kings, have been eliminated out west. That's actually quite a run there for these West teams. The East looks pretty standard. The Wizards, the Bulls, the top seeds all have made it, except for the Pacers. The Pacers lost to the Sixers, man. Philly just will not be put away. They're gonna make some run. Yo, they sweep the Bulls. I don't know what it is about Philadelphia in this reality, man. They are always lurking. We have the Memphis Grizzlies and the Kings out west, and the Wizards and the Sixers. I don't love. Yo, Philly just cannot stop, bro. They refuse to be put down. This is unreal. In Game 7, they beat the Paul George Wizards, who also have Vucevic, Kevin Love still. Max Mack, a 79 overall 2K generated guy, just have 14 points per game in the playoffs, 21 in a Game 7 to close out the #1 seed Wizards. And they go on to play the 8th seed of Memphis Grizzlies. Philly has a legitimate chance to win here. Drew Holiday, Bradley Beal, Marc Gasol. It's going to be Dwight versus Mark. That's what it's going to boil down to. Dwight's the only good player on his roster. This is insane. Philadelphia, man, with no LeBron James, they are having the time of their life. They're up 2-0. They are about to sweep the finals. Philly is about to get it done again. Unless Memphis could claw back down 3-0. Holy smokes. We may have the first 3-0 comeback in NBA history on our hands. It's in Philadelphia, man. They have a lot of experience. 5 championships, and they're blowing them out in Game 7. They're getting it done in Game 7. Mack with 21. Dwight with 14 and 15. Kiba with 19, 5 and 10. Who's your finals MVP? Vitaly Kiba is the finals MVP, averaging 18 and 12. Dwight kind of got snubbed, man. He's averaging 22 and 15. Dwight low-key got snubbed. 2 blocks a game as well. That should have been Dwight. But we'll let Kiba have it. Philly gets it done again, man. I cannot believe it. Wow. If there is a team that would benefit from no LeBron James, I did not expect it to be Philly, but it is Philly. I guess it kind of makes sense. The lottery's changed up a little bit. They brought a star alongside Allen Iverson. Signing Shawn Marion is the real turning point for them. The Warriors get the #1 pick. Spurs have the #3 pick. Did anyone notable retire? Tim Duncan. That's what I was thinking. Squadron. This guy retired from the G League and they're putting him on here. Come on, man. Shawn Marion retires with a 6th championship. I just realized they have 6 rings. 6. Yo, they're on some Michael Jordan stuff. Yo, does Shawn Marion have a better career than Michael Jordan in this reality? Let's gauge that. It might be the Shawn Marion era, to be real with you, man. 6 championships, 3 finals MVPs. All right, better career than Jordan is a stretch, for sure. But he won 5 straight. He's got 9-time All-Star, 3-time finals MVP. Yo, quite the career for Shawn Marion. That completely shifts some debates in the NBA topics here. The discourse on Twitter would be insane with Shawn Marion having 6 championships. Unbelievable. Of course, people aren't going to be arguing LeBron versus Jordan GOAT debates because LeBron doesn't exist. And I don't think anyone else has really been in the conversation for GOAT debates at this point. So, but maybe when we get guys like Kevin Durant winning more, maybe Wembanyama, maybe we start to see, hey, people are going to be saying, hey, Shawn Marion has as many championships as Mike. That kind of a thing. Kind of a weak draft class. Good draft class and weak at the same time. It's kind of interesting. Some decent players getting signed all around. Free agencies this year. Russell Westbrook is the big one. DJ Augustine is apparently one of the bigger names that's on the chopping block. Russ goes to the Wizards. He was not on the Wizards before, was he? Where was Russ? Kings or something? New Orleans. He goes to the Wizards, who are actually already good. They've been the #1 seed. So Russ joins Paul George and Kevin Love, Vucevic. The Wizards just got a lot better. The Sixers, their kryptonite apparently, just got a lot worse because now no Shawn Marion. As we enter the Steph Curry era, I don't think we realistically defined whose era it was. As far as like replacing LeBron's era. Allen Iverson, I guess maybe you could say, but LeBron's era started in 2010. We really didn't have a stretch yet in the last couple of seasons where it would have realistically been anyone's era. No one really made a bunch of finals like LeBron. I guess you could start the Allen Iverson era in like 2008. That makes the Kobe era. Yeah, 2008. I'd say maybe you have the Allen Iverson or the Dwight Howard, maybe even genuinely the Shawn Marion era. As crazy as that sounds, that could have been the... Yeah, actually, that could have been the end of the Shawn Marion era. You start the Shawn Marion era in like 2007-8 season, where they won their second championship together before they win 5 straight, and then he wins one more before retiring the year before Curry's era starts. Wow. That is the answer. So instead of LeBron era starting in 2010, we have the Shawn Marion era starts in 2008. Unbelievable stuff. The team to watch is definitely the Wizards with Westbrook now. Curry's the best player in the league at this point. Dante Green's the 3rd best. The Jazz should have a good season as well. James Harden and Durant, top 5 guys. DeMarcus Cousins not far behind. Chris Paul still doing well. Kyrie, Derrick Rose. It's a guards league right now. There's a ton of guards up here. Let's simulate to the end of this season. We're getting on the back half of this now. Maybe we'll start to speed some of these up. Not go as into detail on every single game, but still show you guys all the results. Another MVP for Paul George, even after bringing in Russell Westbrook, and you would assume lowering his touches a bit. But the Wizards win 65 games on the season. 65 games for the Washington Wizards. Adding Russ was huge. OKC, they're the 2nd seed after adding Derrick Rose. The Nuggets are the top team. So we're really starting to see it's really Paul George and Russ's Wizards. You got the Durant and Harden Nuggets, and then you have the Derrick Rose, Anthony Davis, Joel Embiid Thunder. Those are really your 3 big teams around the league. No one else, in my opinion, is really competing with them. Those are the 3 teams to beat. The Bulls are frauds at 55. The Cavs are definitely frauds at 52 wins with Isaiah Thomas. The Jazz, Steph just does not simply have enough help here at this point. Let's simulate through these playoffs, at least the first couple of rounds, before we start taking a look at some things. The Kings upset the Nuggets. The Nuggets keep getting upset. The Wizards have not been upset, though. OKC loses to the Jazz, who I was just talking about Steph. We have a Curry versus Klay Thompson conference finals. This Kings team has quietly been pretty good, surprisingly. And Philly is in the conference finals again, man. There's just no stopping them. The Bulls team is frauds. They beat the 2nd seed Bulls. Who do they have again? They have Aldridge, Lynn, Kemba, Tyson Shea. Yeah, not that good of a team. Dwight Howard, man, he's having an impressive career. I'll be honest. He's still averaging 27 and 14 and a half. He's 31 years old and he's still putting up huge numbers, man. This has to be one of the greatest centers of all time in this reality. Where would you rank Dwight in this reality all time? Career high is 52 points. Career high rebounds 29. He's had a game with 8 blocks. 6-time champion, a Finals MVP, 8-time All-Star, 8-time All-NBA first team. No MVPs for him. A ton of Defensive Player of the Years. He's got 2 or 3 now. I can't believe he keeps making it into these finals, these conference finals. The Wizards, though, I think they're going to be too much. I think they're going to win this championship no matter what. They're going to be going up against Steph making his finals debut. He is. Curry has finally cracked through to the finals. He wins a game 7 in the conference finals, where Vucevic has 32, 10, and 5. Apparently, this is a 90 overall 6'4" guy, generated guy. Curry isn't even like the best player in his. He is overall wise, but he's not putting up the most numbers. Kind of weak playoff performance here for Steph. Recent games, he had a 47-point game. Never mind, forget that. 47 is crazy. 8 and 10 though here in game 4 of the series. We have a finals matchup now. Curry, Vucevic, Stuckey, and Dante Green versus Westbrook, George, Kevin Love, Vucevic, Evan Turner. I think the Wizards got the better team, man. That's a really solid team. They got a couple MVPs and Paul George. Westbrook is there. He's gonna use his athleticism. It's knotted up though after 4. The Wizards go up 3-2. We have a game 7 in our hands. Oh my goodness. Vugranich, man, if they win a championship, he's going to be the finals MVP. Curry has not beaten these allegations of being carried. I don't think Curry's been carried, but you know, people talk. That's what people say. The finals MVP is going to Iguodala, Kevin Durant, whatnot. But then it's funny because then you have other people that say Durant got carried. So you got some people that say Steph got carried. Then you got people that say Durant got carried. Who got carried, man? Who got carried? I hear both ends of the spectrum. But nonetheless, the Wizards are winning this championship. It's over. Steph does not win a ring here. Paul George is 28. Love with 25. Westbrook with 22 and 13 in the game 7. Curry 1 for 11 from 3 in the game 7. Oh my goodness. Wrap it up for him. The Wizards, Russell Westbrook is a finals MVP. Russ is a champion in this reality. Any major retirements? T-Mac finally retires. It was cool he won a championship. Other than that, I don't think anyone notable necessarily retired. Let's go straight to the draft. Simulate past this. See who drafts who. We have number 1, John Collins. Oh, what are these teams doing, man? What are these teams actually doing? Tatum to the Spurs. Donovan Mitchell to the Blazers. John Collins 1 is just... Come on, bro. That's crazy. Nobody notable as unrestricted free agents. Giannis hasn't done anything with New York. They're kind of wasting him. Him and Jimmy Butler together is not panning out probably how they expected. 2018 season underway. All the teams are relatively the same. It's going to be pretty similar to last year. It's just going to come down to the playoffs and who can break through to the NBA Finals. Fantastic news for Thunder fans. They have the MVP in Anthony Davis. I just realized they got the 2 Chicago kids. D Rose and Anthony Davis, both from Chicago. That's cool for them. Donovan Mitchell, Rookie of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year for Anthony Davis. A huge season for AD. This might be the year that Anthony Davis breaks through and they win a championship here with the Thunder. I thought for a second he did not make the All-NBA first team. That would have been crazy. Isaiah Thomas is up there. Chris Paul. Some crazy stuff happening here around this league. The Sixers are out of the playoffs, so we're not going to have the Sixers in the conference finals. They dropped down to 10, so no crazy upsets for them. The Wizards win 71 games. OKC wins 54. Denver with 53. The Timberwolves are in the mix. The Jazz are good. Let's simulate these playoffs. We'll just go straight through this year. Get to the finals. It's the Wizards versus the Nuggets. We had OKC versus Denver in a game 7. Denver blows them out. The MVP and Defensive Player of the Year could not get it done. They need Embiid to get better, man. Embiid is not playing good enough. 6-9, 8-9, 9-7. These are some horrible performances. 9. That's not good, man. This should be a dominant team. They need him to step it up, figure it out. Is this Joe Johnson or James Johnson? Joe Johnson, 2 off the bench. That's a tough lineup, man. Kevin Durant was too much, though. 36, 9, and 11 in the game 7. A huge game for Kevin Durant. James Harden. And we have a matchup against the Wizards. So we have Harden and Durant are up against Russell Westbrook and Paul George. And then we got DeMarcus Cousins banging down low with Kevin Love. Pausing that, by the way. This could go either way, actually. I could see, the Wizards 171, but I could see Denver winning this. Washington goes up 2-0. They're going to sweep. It looks like we have another dynasty forming before our eyes. 30-10 for Paul George. Unbelievable. Fantastic finals for Paul George. Paul George is having a great run in this reality as well, I got to admit. That Thunder team is looking scary. Luka Doncic goes to the Bucks. Trae Young to the Spurs. We have Trae Young and Jason Tatum together. 8 on the Hawks. The Hawks and the Blazers have been bad like this whole sim. The Lakers move on from Kobe, who I think has to have retired by now. We'll go double check, but he had to have, right? Marvin Bagley. SGA is on the Heat. The Heat had 6 and 7. They went SGA and Michael Porter. There's actually some pretty good pickups. I haven't seen Kobe on the retirement list. There he is. Okay, he just retired. So Kobe Bryant retires. Dirk retires. Boozer retires. That's like all of our big names. Boris Diaw retires. He had a couple 6 man of the years. Any big free agency news? Do we have any huge free agents available? Chris Paul and Melo. Melo's still looking for a championship. Blake Griffin as well. Let's see where these guys went. Chris Paul to the Heat, so he finally leaves Dallas. Carmelo stays on the Timberwolves. Blake Griffin on the Mavericks. Chris Paul and Blake Griffin team. It all could have been fun, man. We saw it obviously in real life, but it could have been fun to recreate. Did Joel Embiid leave? Embiid is still in the Thunder. They need more out of Embiid, man. I'm telling you, they definitely need more out of Joel if they're going to win a championship. Another MVP out east to Russell Westbrook, Luka Rookie of the Year, John Wall, Anthony Davis, DPOY. The West standings shook up quite a bit. Minnesota is number 1, Denver number 2, Golden State is number 3. OKC is all the way down to number 6. The East, we still have the Wizards at the top. The Cavaliers are doing pretty good. The Knicks are finally getting things figured out. Pistons are doing decent now with Kawhi and Jokic. Down at the bottom, the Sixers finally fell off the face of the map at this point. They're officially over. I thought they were over before. I think they're definitely over now. Isaiah Thomas is still the top scorer in the league. He has been for several years now. He has been fantastic. That was a good pickup for them. I got to give them credit. He has averaged over 30 like 8 years in a row. My goodness. Hasn't been able to do anything. Like I said, I don't think you can win a championship with a 5'9" point guard, but he has been very good. Paul George, that Wizards team is stacked, man. They're panning out very good. OKC, I want to see OKC win a ring. I would love to see Derrick Rose get a championship. The Nuggets, I don't know how they haven't won more, if I'm being honest with you. I want to go see who do the Timberwolves have that they landed the top seed. They have Carmelo and Cat, Jamal Murray. And they have a decent team. They do have a decent team built around them. Let's simulate through to these conference finals. Almost another round one upset for the first seed in the West. That has happened a lot. Miami also pushed the Wizards to the brink of a game 7. They won by 1. They barely won against Jordan Clarkson and Nurkic. Yeah, those guys are frauds. Chris Paul, someone's got to be able to beat that Wizards team. If they went that far with the Miami Heat. We have the Knicks versus the Wizards after being the laughing stock in the first half of the sim. They're in the conference finals now with Jimmy Butler and Giannis Antetokounmpo. And then out west, we have Minnesota versus the Nuggets. So we have Harden and Durant, DeMarcus Cousins versus Melo, Cat. This is probably Melo's last chance to make a finals. But I think Denver has it, to be honest with you. They do. They win a 6. The Wizards sweep the Knicks. So now we have another matchup between Washington and Denver. Game 1 goes to Denver. That's a great start for the Nuggets. 51 for Paul George, almost a triple-double as well. 17 for 18 from the field. Missed 2 free throws. If he hits those free throws, it's a 3-point game. Maybe they could pull off a win. Russ had a pretty good game too. 29 and 19 is insane. Cousins though, 33, 17 and 10. He did get the triple-double that Paul George missed out on. Huge win here. Game 2, Wizards take it's 4-point game. This is a close series. Game 3 goes to the Nuggets. That was a blowout 20-point game. 36 for James Harden, 33 for Durant, 31 for Cousins. Oh my goodness, what a trio. 2-2. The Wizards take the big game 5, man. That's a huge one. 32, 28 and 14 for K Love, 25 and 13 for George. DeMarcus Cousins fouled out. That was the problem there, man. And for all the marbles, Denver forces a game 7 and a huge win. This is a big game 7 right here, man. This is big. Can the Nuggets dethrone this crazy Wizards team? They're in Washington, 70-something wins on the year, and they're blowing them out down the stretch, man. They got close. Game 7. Paul George, another Finals MVP. What a stretch. I think this will go down as the Paul George era instead of the Steph era, because Paul George is absolutely dominating. We have the Mavericks with the number 1 pick. The Spurs keep getting high picks. They have Trae Young and Tatum already. Who are they going to add into the mix now in 2019? They added Ja Morant. I don't know if that's a great fit, to be honest. Maybe I would have traded this pick. Zion goes to the Mavericks. Zion ends up simulating very good. So I would not be surprised if they make some noise here down the line with Zion. Russ is a free agent. So is Derrick Rose. So we maybe have some change here. Maybe that Wizards team comes collapse, and it does. Russell Westbrook joins Luka Doncic on the Bucks. Derrick Rose goes to the Sixers. So it's really anyone's game now. Everything is wide open. I would have to say the Nuggets break through this year without the Wizards in their way. The Wizards should still be good, though. They got Paul George. They have Kevin Love still. They should still be a pretty good team. Washington, Paul George, Love. They got Rubio. They got Rondo. The Warriors got Ben Simmons and Conley and Gobert. There's no shooting at all going on here with Simmons and Gobert, but great defense all in all. Carmelo and Cat, they're still going. Carmelo's still pushing strong. Is Dwayne Wade still a Piston? Dwayne Wade is still on the Pistons, man. That's crazy. He's had a great career, I gotta be honest. The Spurs, Tatum, Ingram, Dragic, Trae Young, Tony Parker still there, Ja. They got some pieces over there as well. A Cousins MVP, man. I'm seeing the championship loading for the Denver Nuggets. Zion gets Rookie of the Year. DeMar DeRozan is 6th Man of the Year. I still can't believe. Who was it? The Wizards that let him walk? I mean, I guess it panned out. They won a lot of championships. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Giannis. And the Knicks are the 3rd seed. So things are panning out with Giannis. The Heat are the 1st seed. I know they picked up Chris Paul. Did Chris Paul really turn them around? They got Jaylen Brown. Okafor is playing well. Miami's doing great. SGA. Chris Paul training up SGA in this reality as well, just like he did with the Thunder. The Wizards are still the 2nd seed. Out west, of course, the Denver Nuggets at the top. The Golden State Warriors actually doing really good despite that floor spacing issue I was concerned with Rudy Gobert and Ben Simmons. I think it's the Nuggets championship to win this year, without a doubt. They're the top team in the league. Derrick Rose in Philly has put up 27. It looks like Dwight may have retired. Either he retired or he left the team. Let's take a look at the league leaders. Isaiah Thomas still leading the league in points. Curry's up there. We have yet to see a Curry championship, which is kind of depressing. DeAndre Jordan's averaging 16 boards a night. Drummond 15. Assist play. Lonzo's carrying the load for the Lakers. Giannis, a fantastic defender. Anthony Davis with 2 blocks a game. The Thunder don't even make the playoffs. That is actually insane. I guess they did lose Derrick Rose, huh? So it's just Anthony Davis and Embiid now. Yeah, they're not quite as good with no Derrick Rose. Let's go to simulate these first couple rounds. That round 1 in the West, man, every single time is a gauntlet. It goes to 7 every single year. Kevin Durant with a triple-double in Game 7. 31, 10, and 10 with 6 steals as well. Jeez. Let's get to these conference finals. We have the Nuggets versus the Clippers and the Wizards Hawks. So the Wizards are still in the conference finals despite losing Russ. They're up against Damian Lillard, Dante Exum. That's the team that took Dante Exum. He's a 93 overall, though, so I guess it's panning out well. The Clippers have Zach LaVine, Laurie, and Kristaps. This should be an easy win for the Nuggets. I think we're going to have the Nuggets Wizards again. We do. Both sides sweep. This time, though, I think the Nuggets have the clear upper hand. The far better team overall with no Russ on the court. And they have home court advantage. I got Nuggets in 5. They take game 1. Wizards take game 2. No way. They knotted up after 4. They go up 5. The Nuggets win the championship. They finally defeat the Wizards. They couldn't get past it for a while. Kevin Durant, another Finals MVP, his 2nd, I believe. 26, 9, 7.5, 2 steals, a block a game. Great season for Kevin Durant. Dwayne Wade finally retires. Vitaly Kiba retires. Man, he had a Finals MVP in the mix in there. I couldn't believe my eyes. Let's take a look at who has the best odds here in the draft lottery. We have the Celtics with the best odds. The Sixers are in the mix after so many great years. The Spurs get another top pick, man. What is going on? San Antonio can't stop. They get Anthony Edwards. It's Ja, Trae Young, Ant-Man, and Tatum. That team is about to be ridiculous. Unbelievable stuff. And as we're rolling through this next season, man, if you guys made it this far in the video, just put a James in the comments. Just the word James. I'll know you guys made it this far. You are a real one if you made it this far. I did not think that this video would be so long. We're pushing close to 2 hours now. I thought this would be like a 50-minute to an hour-long video. But again, it really puts in perspective how long LeBron has just been dominating this NBA. Sometimes you forget just how many years it is that you got to simulate through to complete LeBron James' career. Absolutely crazy stuff. Make sure you drop a like on the video if you haven't. If you made it this far and you didn't like the video yet, I would really appreciate it. Subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. If you made it this far and you're brand new to the channel, oh my goodness, what a goat. And again, if you guys, I just noticed the Sixers are back in the playoffs, man. 4th seed. They cannot be stopped. The greatest team of all time, to be honest with you. Jokic MVP, LaMelo Rookie of the Year, LaMelo 6th Man of the Year as well, Giannis Defensive Player. Like I mentioned, I do have a version of this where all the rosters say the same. So if you want to see the NBA with no LeBron, but same rosters, you can go check that out as well. Miami's still at the top. Chris Paul. The Spurs are the 4th seed. Yeah, I expected them to make some noise. Dallas is sitting at the 1st seed now. I don't remember who they drafted. I know they had a good player at some point post. It was Zion. That's what they drafted. Yeah, like I said, Zion is fantastic. I knew they had a good player post Dirk. The Sixers lose in round 1 to the Pistons. The Denver Nuggets working their way back to the conference finals against the Mavericks with Zion. And then the Wizards and the Raptors on the other end. I did not mean to start this game. My goodness. Raptors have Kyle Lowry, DeAndre Jordan. I don't know how they made it to the finals. The Wizards looks like they picked up Eric Bledsoe to replace Russ. We have another Nuggets versus Wizards NBA Finals. A game 7 of Mavericks and Nuggets. It was a 1-point game. That would have been a good one to jump into. My bad on that. 35, 10, and 6 for Durant. 25 for Cousins. Harden with 15 and 10. Zion's going to win some rings, man. He always does in these sims. No LeBron in the way. Wizards take game 1. They take game 2. Wizards coming for revenge. Denver fighting back. They knot it up. Wizards go up 3-2. We have another game 7 between these teams. Kevin Durant 36. Cousins 36 and 21. A huge game for Cousins. James Harden, an abysmal game. 0 for 8 from the field. He didn't even hit a shot. Bro was out there just throwing up air balls. Unbelievable. We have a game 7. Wait, was that a 1-point game right there? Did I say one? I think it was 113 to 114 in that game 6. 114, 116. That's a huge win right there. All right, game 7. NBA Finals, Wizards Nuggets. It's in Washington. Can they pull this one off? It's anyone's game down the stretch. Anyone's game. 3-point game. 2-point game. We got to jump in. The Nuggets have this guy at the line to get it within 1 with 58 seconds left. Washington's ball. You need a stop here if you are Denver. Game 7, winner go home in the NBA Finals. 50 seconds left. Eric Bledsoe with the ball, drives it in. Great defense by the Nuggets. Denver stops Bledsoe. 3-second violation. He has to force one. It's no good. James Harden the rebound. He's pushing the pace on the break. 38 seconds remaining. Harden stops the pump, the pull. Bang! One of the biggest shots in NBA history by James Harden. Unbelievable. Eric Bledsoe would have now down by 2. 10 seconds, 7-minute shot clock, a game clock. Bledsoe gets the screen, no space. Patton for 3 in the lead. It's no good. Cousins, they get it to Stephon. What a sequence. If he hits both these free throws, it might be over. He hits the first. Washington, no timeouts remaining. Up by 3 of the Nuggets, 15 seconds. He hits both free throws. Washington has to go quick here. Eric Bledsoe with it. You need a quick shot. They pull the quick shot. Culver for 3. No good. They get the board. They kick it out. Looney, Bledsoe, Culver again. It's for 3. No good. That is gonna do it. Unreal. So Paul George actually fouled out. That's why we did not see Paul George down the stretch. So did Kevin Love. So their 2 stars were gone. Paul George had 29. Kevin Durant with 35, Cousins 25, James Harden with 20, 11 and 6, and the huge 3. He was 3 for 11 up to that point, but that was an insane. Look at it. Look at the highlight right there. Pump fake, pull it over 2 defenders jumping at him. That is a crazy shot. Gets him jumping, pulls it. Honestly, had a better look on the first one. They win the NBA championship. Back-to-back titles for Denver. DeMarcus Cousins, the Finals MVP this time, 25 and 14. Paul George was averaging 29. Durant was averaging 28, 10 and 5 too. Durant might have got snubbed, to be honest. There's not a lot of parity in the league here in this reality. We'll take a look back at everything at the very end of this just to see who did what. But a lot of repeats and three-peats and multiple championships for a lot of these teams. Finally, the Spurs don't get a high pick. Scotty Barnes goes 1, Evan Mobley 2. Franz goes 3 to the Lakers. K drops all the way down to 4. And the Wizards just got better, man. And this is why there's no parity. These guys are like making super teams left and right in this reality. Who is Shannon Meeks? Blake Griffin joins the Wizards. I don't know if they lost. I don't think they lost anyone. So they have Paul George, Blake Griffin, Kevin Love now. They just got a whole lot better out of nowhere. So they continue to be dominant. The Wizards continue to be one of the top teams to beat. It's been the Wizards, the Sixers, and the Nuggets, realistically, for most of this. Those are like the top dogs in this simulation with no LeBron James, which is interesting. Wizards, Sixers, Nuggets, 3 teams that really did not have any effect with LeBron in real life. In real life, you have to look at teams like the Pacers, the Bulls, lost out on some multiple championships, the Thunder and Kevin Durant in general losing to LeBron. Pretty much all the teams in the East, but the Sixers and the Wizards would not be 2 of them. I guess everything pans out different. It's a huge domino effect when you have a guy of LeBron James caliber not being drafted. All the standings look different, so all the draft lottery odds are different. A lot of stuff changes, man. A lot of stuff changes. Another MVP to Anthony Davis. The Thunder are still staying relevant with these MVPs, but they're not making a lot of noise come to playoffs. Denver actually is the 8th seed. They're in the play-in after winning the championship. Repeat champions are in the play-in, which is weird because their team didn't change much. They got Jalen Brunson now as well on the bench. Their bench is terrible. Jalen Brunson's starting. He's not going to be coming off the bench. Their bench is awful, though, so that's very interesting for the Denver Nuggets. The Pistons are the 1st seed. The Wizards are all the way down to the 8th, so the Wizards are also in the play-in. That's very interesting that those guys are now in the play-in. We knew the Spurs would be good. We know the Dallas Mavericks are going to be good with Zion. But you got to go check out the Pistons and the Hawks. The Pistons still have Jokic and Kawhi, I think. I don't remember who the Hawks have. Pistons have Kawhi, Jokic, DeJounte Murray, Mikal Bridges. They have a very good team. Draymond Green as well. And then the Hawks, Dante Exum, Ayton, Lillard, Devin Booker, Porter. Yeah, Dante Exum, man. I still can't believe that. Let's simulate these playoffs. I don't know how things are going to look. The Nuggets actually make the playoffs, and they're up 3-2 against the Mavericks. So we have another upset. I'm telling you, man, that first round, if you get a first seed in the West, things get sketchy over there. The Wizards actually missed the playoffs. They lose the play into the Magic by 6. So picking up Blake Griffin kind of hurt them more than it maybe helped them. Let's continue similar into these conference finals, and we have the Clippers Spurs. Clippers defeat the defending champs, and then we have the 4 and 7 seed Knicks and Bucks. Knicks finally back in the conference finals. I think they actually have a very strong chance of making the finals. It's going to be tough to beat Russell and Doncic, but you got Jimmy Butler, De'Aaron Fox, Giannis. They got a pretty good unit, and I got the Spurs coming out the West. I don't even know who the Clippers have. They have, oh yeah, Levine and Kristaps Porzingis. We've seen that team a couple of times. Similarly, we have the Clippers make the finals. Kristaps averaging 35 and 12 here. Western Conference Finals MVP. The Knicks make the finals. I feel like Giannis is going to break through and win a championship here. It is 2022. This is when he won it in real life, yeah? No, this is the Warriors. They won it the year before this. They win in 7. Giannis, Finals MVP. So after laughing at the Knicks for so many years, they turn this around in Game 7, win by 3. That would have been a good jump. And Zach LaVine made a Finals appearance, man. Love to see that, bro. I love to see that. I have like 20 Zach LaVine jerseys, by the way. Like literally 20. So I figured, why not grab them? These are literally all Zach LaVine jerseys. I did like LaVine when he was with the Bulls, man. I'm a big Bulls fan. I collect Bulls jerseys, if you did not know. And Zach LaVine in particular, since he was on the team for so long, I got so many LaVine jerseys. So LaVine, if you're watching this, man, I don't know, he's probably not. I got all the city editions. Just felt like I should share that. Some of the special editions that the Bulls released. This one's pretty sick. It's got like some clouds. Just figured I would show that just because I have them all hanging right here. But yeah, I do collect every Bulls player. Believe it or not. If you did not know that about me, I have every single player that plays. Not even the guys that play. I have guys that are on the bench that don't play at all. I have multiple Denzel Valentine jerseys. Like I got some weird jerseys, man. Thomas Satoransky. I got them all. I enjoy it. You know, it's kind of cool to look back at the jerseys and you can remember the team that I was watching. And I don't know, anyone else collect jerseys? I've kind of slowed down with it though. I've kind of lost interest. Jersey prices are getting ridiculous. It's not really worth it, man. So I've definitely slowed down. I don't think I'm gonna get all the players this next year. I think I'm kind of stepping away from that hobby. So if anyone's interested in jerseys, you want to buy some? I mean, I have literally a ton of jerseys. Maybe I'll donate them to someone that's more interested in me. I don't know. It was a big hobby of mine for a while, was collecting them, but kind of slowing down on it. Like I said, Jada Ivey goes number 1, Banchero 3. Similar to the next season. We're wrapping things up. We're getting towards the end here with no LeBron. I need to go eat, man. I need to go get some food in my system as well. So let's get these last couple of seasons going. See where we're at. See who ends up winning the championship this year. I kind of lost my train of thought. Who won last year? I actually completely forgot. Did we even talk about that? I'm telling you guys, I'm out of it. Oh yeah, the Knicks. The Knicks did win. We had a Giannis Game 7 victory. Man, look at Philly, man. They're still at the 3rd seed. Does 2K, like if you're used to controlling a team, does 2K make them better? Because I'm not making any of the moves for Philly. It's all automated, but they continue to be good. 2nd seed. I have user controlled them all the way throughout. So I don't know if 2K maybe makes the user control team have like boosted odds or something. The Spurs get the 1st seed. It was only a matter of time until San Antonio started to dominate. That team that they have is crazy. 62 wins for the Pistons, 56 for the Sixers, Spurs with 59. The Lakers are at 56. They're kind of turning things around. This is the Sixers team that is absolutely dominating. The Lakers are at, they have Miles Turner, Bagley, but they have a ton of bigs. My goodness. Some 2K generated guys. They don't look that good, but they are playing well. Tyrese Halliburton is on their roster. And the Spurs should realistically just run through this league at this point. It's going to be the Spurs league the next several years in a row. They have such an influx of point guards, unfortunately. If they can move like Trae Young or Ja for a big, this team will be absolutely unstoppable. Let's simulate these playoffs. See what the Spurs do. I imagine they win, but no. The Lakers actually sweep them. And Philly is in the finals again, man. They defeat the Pistons in 6. Philadelphia fans, this is the video for you, man. I've never seen something like this in a sim. Philly's about to win another championship. Derrick Rose is going to get a Finals MVP. I think that's his first of his career. Averaged 33 and 11 here. He averaged 33 and 11 on the spot in the entire playoffs. Wow. I just realized his playoff averages match his Finals MVP averages. Is that like a glitch in a game, or did he just somehow magically do that, or does Final MVP show his play? I don't know. Here's his playoff numbers though: 33, 41. He had a 25 in there. Double digits assists left and right. He had 39 against Detroit, 41, 41. A lot of huge games, man. Derrick Rose healthy in this reality. He has really stood the test of time and panned out fantastic. I want to take a look at the player stats in the finals. So that is just his final stats. Okay, so this is glitch where it was showing me his playoff averages. It was showing me his finals averages here for some reason before. Okay, so yeah, so here's his playoff averages. I can't believe they just won a championship. Derrick Rose led the charge by far. They have another Marion on the team. I don't know if he has any relation to Sean Marion. I don't know if Sean put like one of his cousins on and got him started on the team. I don't know. I don't know who Reed Marion is, but another Sixers championship. I genuinely cannot believe that this team is still winning rings. I almost passed up on who drafted Wemby. I almost similar to right past it. That would have been a mistake. The Bulls get Wembanyama, so they have been bad pretty much this whole sim. I guess they've had a couple of like second seed seasons. They've had some solid seasons in the mix. But yeah, they finally get a difference maker. They get Wembanyama. That is obviously huge. I did not look at the free agency. I don't know if there was any huge moves, but I'm still a firm advocate that the Spurs are about to be taking the league over. We hit the modern era. The last era, I don't know whose era that would have been. It had to have been like Kevin Durant or Paul George. One of the two. Probably Paul George more so than Durant. I don't know who won more championships, but Paul George had like a couple MVPs, I think. He was on fire. But yeah, the Spurs from here on out, I feel like they should three-peat moving forward. The Sixers are the first seed, though. Did they add anybody new? It's just one time after another. They just keep going through these different stretches. They keep figuring it out. They go from one star to the next, man. Started off with Allen Iverson, and now they got Derrick Rose leading the charge. Unbelievable stuff. And there it is. It was only a matter of time. I'm telling you, Zion in these simulations is mind-numbingly good. Like, it doesn't make any sense. The Spurs are the top seed. Philly's the top seed out east. 64 wins. Philly's the best record in the NBA. I still don't get it. Denver, they still have all their core, but Denver's not playing that great. Spurs, Philly losing the conference finals. The Spurs get upset. Did DeAndre Ayton, did I just say he was averaging 40? I think they were up 3-1, and they ended up losing game 7 by 3. I think it said DeAndre Ayton was averaging, I must have misread that, because he's averaging 21 for the playoff. No way he was averaging 40 in the series. I just refuse to believe. They have Pelicans versus Pistons finals now. The Pistons, Jokic was able to overcome the Sixers with Kawhi Leonard. They have Banchero, Ayton, PJ Washington, Jalen Green. I think the Pistons have the better roster. I think the Pistons should be able to win this for sure. I'm going to say Pistons in 6. Pelicans take the first game. Pistons take the second. Pelicans go up. They knot it up. Pelicans up 3-2. The Pelicans win the championship. Did not see that coming. DeAndre Ayton, a finals MVP. That is not something I expected at all. That was not on my bingo card to happen. How many games did they win in the year? They were the second seed, 55. Yeah, San Antonio needs a big man. That is what I will say. San Antonio definitely needs a big man. LaMarcus Aldridge retires. Chris Paul finally retires. Batum. Let's go ahead and assimilate past the draft again. See who goes where on the first pick. Risa Shea? Yep, Risa Shea goes to the Heat. Justin Edwards, number 2. Starter Raptors. Bulls get Jamison Battle. I don't know if there's any big name free agents. Curry's a free agent. We have still yet to see like a good Steph Curry run. Let's see if he leaves Utah. Maybe he goes somewhere else, has a chance. He sticks it out with Utah, and I feel bad for him. The Suns get Donovan Mitchell now. Anthony Edwards still in the Spurs. Okongwu, they keep him on the Sixers. They bring in Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. They're still trying to build a better team. Unreal. If they win another ring, I don't know, man. Another Anthony Davis MVP. I got to see, how many does he have? He has won quite a few MVPs here, like a lot. They have not had much success as a team, but 4 MVPs, 3 Defensive Player of the Years. He has been great. Noah Clowney is Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, Rookie of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Giannis, who has also been good. Most Improved goes to Wemby. The Sixers are still running the East, man. They just don't stop. There's no quitting these guys. 53. The Spurs drop down to the 3rd seed. The Pelicans are at the top with 65-17. Take a quick look at the league leaders. Zion leading the way. I guess Isaiah Thomas's reign is over. Ben Simmons is playing fantastic. Got some stick drift. Control just scrolling on its own. Porzingis is one of the best scorers in the league. Anthony Davis, D'Angelo Russell. A really weird top 10 list. Zach LaVine makes the cut. Porter Jr. Again, very strange top 10 list. The Pelicans Spurs rematch, and then we have the Sixers Bulls. The Sixers are about to make the finals again, man. Unreal stuff. They're up 3-0 against Wembanyama's Bulls. They defeat them, and they're gonna have a Sixers Spurs finals more than likely. Ja gets conference finals MVP. Derrick Rose is the East. So we have a Ja versus Derrick Rose matchup. By far, the Spurs have the better team. Like by far the better team. Look at this starting lineup. Ja, Edwards, Tatum, Ingram, Kai Jones. It shouldn't even be a debate. This should be a sweep, but I wouldn't put it past Philly, man. Anything's possible with this team. It's tied up 1-1. They're up 2-1. Yo. Philadelphia is just ridiculous, man. We have a game 7. I want San Antonio to win this, man. I'm a big Derrick Rose guy, but there's no reason they should be winning another championship. Their time should have been long gone. We have a game 7. I was gonna simcast it, but my stick drift dragged it down and we simulated the round. The Spurs won the championship. Ja Morant, Finals MVP. And they finally get one. I can't believe it took so long. It was a blowout anyway, so we didn't miss much with the simcast. Still would have been cool to see. 37-4-7 for Ja. 19-6 for Ant-Man. Tatum is down with 9-8. He didn't even foul out. I thought maybe he fouled out. It's just not a good game for him. Sixers, Derrick Rose had 38-6 in the game 7, trying to keep his team afloat. Man, 38. He had 26, 33. Some of these losses here could have maybe been avoided. A little bit better game here from Derrick Rose. Maybe they avoid it. They were up 3-1. They blew a 3-1 lead. Wow. Derrick Rose might retire after that. So that might be it for the... Yeah, Derrick Rose retires. Calls it quits. Had one good final run. He's got to be a Hall of Famer, right? Hall of Fame inductees. Did I see Russell on there too? Westbrook retires. Dante Green retires. Kevin Love retires. Steph retires. Steph said he's had enough of this, man. Can't even make it to the dang finals. Just get out of here. He's had enough. That's actually really unfortunate for Steph. He might not be a Hall of Famer. He is. Okay, they gave him a Hall of Fame. Yeah, I actually would not have been surprised if he missed out. Derrick Rose, definitely a Hall of Famer. He had a fantastic career. Kevin Love won a couple of championships. 4 for K-Love. 3 for Russ. 1 for Derrick Rose. No Finals MVPs for Kevin Love, but he had a great year, a great career. Some All-NBA teams. Curry did not make a single... Oh, he did. 1 All-NBA first team. Okay. No MVPs for Steph in this reality. 12 All-Stars. And we have one more season to simulate. So we're going into the very final season now. Let's see who gets Cooper Flag. And this will wrap up an NBA with no LeBron. Again, this went way longer than I expected. Cooper Flag, Grizzlies, Edgecombe Rockets, Timberwolves, Derek Queen. Let's see if there's any notable free agents. We haven't really seen too many big free agency moves in a while. I forgot Kyrie was in the league. He's rotted away over there with the Pacers. Absolutely wasted his career. And he re-signs with Indiana. I think John Wall is still there as well. We'll advance to the next season. The final year of the sim. No way Philly makes the finals. No way, right? Let's go take a look. Look at their roster. No shot. They shouldn't even make the playoffs, man. They should not make the playoffs. And we have Ben Simmons MVP in the final season. Coop gets Rookie of the Year. Giannis, another defensive player. He has had quite a few of those. And believe it or not, you're probably not going to believe it, but it's not a lie. The 76ers are still one of the top teams in basketball. They're sitting at the 2nd seed. 48 wins. Unreal. Wembanyama secures the 1st seed. Oh, yeah, my controller is tripping, man. The Bulls got the 1st seed. We may see a Wembanyama finals before we end this. The Pelicans are still hot. The Spurs are still hot. Let's just simulate straight over to these finals. See who we have. Sixers get eliminated around 1 by the Pacers. 4-1. They finally lose. And we have a Wembanyama versus DeAndre Ayton matchup in the NBA Finals. The 7th seed of Pacers, they made a good run. The Wizards tried to have one more push. Didn't work out. San Antonio got bounced around one after the championship. And the Denver Nuggets have just vanished. What were the Nuggets? They still have that same core. How are they not even making the playoffs? Sometimes I don't understand these sims. They have... Okay, James Harden left. They have Kevin Durant, Jaden Ivey, Cousins, Kevin Porter. They still have a solid team, though. Bulls versus Pelicans. The Bulls have been terrible this whole sim. They finally pull off a championship at the very end. I think the Pelicans definitely have the better team, but Wembanyama is the best player on this court. Let's see what happens. Game 1 goes to the Pels. I think they got it. Game 2, Game 3. It's going to be a sweep, huh? Pelicans sweep. Jalen Green, Finals MVP. What a crazy statement. Not what I expected to say. And that wraps it up, man. That is it. Let's take a look at the league history. What has happened with no LeBron over the course of 20-something seasons with no LeBron James. We have a Kobe MVP, couple Kobe MVPs, some Dwayne Wade MVPs, 3-time MVP Dwayne Wade. Elton Brand got a couple, Allen Iverson, Paul George got a few, Russell Westbrook, DeMarcus Cousins got a couple of them. That's pretty impressive for him. Big turnaround for him. Anthony Davis has had a great career. Here's all the rookies of the years. I'm not going to name all of these. We'll just scroll through these quickly. If you want to see these, feel more than free. The big one is Dwayne Wade, who took LeBron's Rookie of the Year. Sixth man of the year. I don't know if anyone's interested in this. Wow, I did not realize John Wall went on a run of 1, 2, 3, 4 sixth man of the years. He even got another one in 2023. Indiana, and they really messed up having Kyrie and John Wall. They needed to trade one of those guys. That was kind of silly. Giannis has been on a run of defensive player of the years. Dwight had quite a few. Dwight Howard, I think, was the biggest benefactor of no LeBron. Not even gonna lie, I think Dwight, with no LeBron, had the best career, which is funny because Dwight benefited from LeBron in real life. He won a championship with him, thanks to him, really. Him and Anthony Davis. Yeah, and he even, had some wins against LeBron. He wasn't really struggling in the East because of LeBron. He made it to the finals past LeBron, and then when LeBron went to Miami, maybe that kind of hindered him a little bit. But yeah, Dwight really benefiting a lot. Most improved, no big deal about that. These are the big changes is your past champions, because with no LeBron, you had a lot of teams able to make the finals that normally would not have. And NBA history looks very different. Kobe Bryant ends up only getting 4 championships. The Hornets, the New Orleans Hornets, who became the Pelicans, I forgot they won in 2004, and then they're starting to win now again. So they had a good run. Of course, the 76ers were by far the biggest benefactor in this. Chris Bosh and Paul Pierce winning one together was pretty cool. The Sixers winning 5 straight, going on a few years later to win another one in 2016, going on a few years later to win another one in 2023, and then almost winning another one in 2025. Insane. 76ers by far the biggest benefactor. The Wizards had a ton of wins. The Denver Nuggets, Kevin Durant really benefited from no LeBron James. He was able to win several championships. The Spurs kind of struggled. That was the interesting one. T-Mac squeezing one in there I thought was pretty cool. With no injuries, T-Mac was able to get one. We had a cool rivalry between the Nuggets and the Wizards. They played each other 4 years in a row. That was kind of our substitute for the Warriors versus Cavaliers rivalry. So in that same time frame where we would have had Warriors and Cavs, we got the Wizards and Nuggets rivalry. Kind of cool. Curry made 1 finals appearance and he lost in the game 7. Rough career for Steph. Believe it or not, Curry, his career really got sloppy with no LeBron. With LeBron there, he had a fantastic career. No LeBron, Curry was just not the same, simply. Kind of interesting. The Knicks finally got one after being the laughing stock. And then, like we mentioned, the Pelicans, they won 3, man. So they really benefit from no LeBron somehow. And the Spurs just have the dynasty of the future. Once they get that figured out, it's over. Hope you guys enjoyed. That pretty much wraps up everything. One more thing, actually, before we get to that. I want to see who has all the all-time points with no LeBron James. Did anyone pass Kareem? Kobe Bryant smoked him. Holy crap. 46,000. Carmelo's there with 39. Durant will probably land at least number 2. He's got a couple seasons left in him. He's only 500 away from Carmelo. So if he plays one more season, he's going to beat number 2. Kobe Bryant will be at the top of the list. Durant will be number 2 for a while. Vince Carter was really good. T-Mac was great with no injuries. Derrick Rose is top 10 all time. That's cool. Dwayne Wade is 12th. And yeah. So I feel like that's a good stopping point. That's all the big things that have changed with no LeBron. NBA history looks completely different without LeBron James in it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Drop a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new. And stay tuned for the next video. Have a great day.